we got Jack, we got Marcus, and you're watching NSTV! Let's go! All right, we're here. Let's start with the smoothie first. We got mixed berries and avocado espresso.
Protein.
Let's go. And you guys have some tweets. I have some tweets, and we'll talk about it. Let's go. First one, we have Hyperframes versus Remotion, a detailed rundown. Gonna talk about this?
Yeah. So basically, for beginners here, Jack and I, we have a startup that makes programmable videos, and we've been using Remotion for we've been working with Remotion for like a year now.
Yeah.
Which is a way to take code and make it into video. And you know, it's different type of videos, from like the Sedans and the VO and Sora, even though Sora is no more. But the point being is that all the videos are just code. So it's kind of like a new way of thinking about video.
Yeah, it's like animating user interface elements around a screen, basically. So really good at the accuracy, but not good at creativity.
It's very interesting how Remotion, I saw first time when Remotion came out, and I didn't know much because I don't do video, I don't do code, but it was really cool to, as you said, like kind of think about video as a code. And specifically when you are doing just software, kind of, you are just showing the software, you are not doing any sort of filming and stuff. It's perfect because you just want to show like crazy transitions and some interesting highlights of the software, and you can just do that as a code now.
And also you could, since it's all UI, everything that can be in a user interface, everything that can be in a web page, because Remotion and Hyperframes are using, or like Remotion is using JavaScript, so everything you can put on a JavaScript web page, you can put in the video. So you can embed videos, you can embed images and videos and put that into the composition as well. But you can also control it with the code. So it's like, you can get the same results every time, and you can have one video, and then you could only change the colors, and then it will, change only the colors. Everything else will be the same. You can have the same video. You can say, hey, I want this same video in 40 different languages, and it's done like that. And then you have exactly the same video, but for different markets. In Spanish, in Italian, in Norwegian, in Japanese, which gives you like a control that so far you've been lacking with the Sedans model, with the VO, those kind of models.
Yeah. What was the first original, let's say, idea, inspiration, that why do we focus on video demo?
Yeah.
Well, one morning I was sitting on the toilet I got an
Let's go.
I got an email.
So you are a toilet scroller.
Oh yeah. That was my main scrolling time for sure. I got an email being like, Lovable 2.0 just went live. So I clicked into it. I saw they had a sick demo video. And I was like, how did they vibe code that? Like, surely they didn't like pay a human to go and do it. Like, this is Lovable. They make code.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit. They did pay a human to do it, but it was possible to do it with Remotion. So I think actually it was like Replit. I think Marcus wakes up at about like 3 p.m. in the middle of the day, and I'm more of a 6 a.m. guy. So
the moment you said 3, I was like, it could go anywhere. It could be AM or PM, which is like totally different personality. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And for context, we were like on this island, this tiny little tropical island in Vietnam, and we've been working on this 3D product design marketplace idea. And we'd been trying to sell it pretty hard, but it wasn't working very well.
And in that point, we were paying an editor to make a demo video for us. And he was making shit videos, and we were paying him a lot.
Exactly. So I guess we understood the issue. I looked in to see is there a solution, found Remotion, found that AI can write the code to make demo videos, and then I was like, how has nobody built a platform around Remotion? Like the training data that's been given to the LLMs was terrible. It's just bad. It basically just staggers the output of each element. It wasn't really good at making smooth animations. So the general hypothesis was just wow, if we could build a community who are good at animating stuff, we can build up this training data set, fine tune a model, and then anybody can turn a screenshot into a product launch video very easily.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Why didn't Remotion do this?
Yeah, I think they're a 1 or 2 man team.
Yeah. Okay.
my understanding would be is like they just wanted to focus on the core tech, keep again like I think it's just Johnny, just one.
They
developer.
build the framework for it, and then they let developers out there. It's like an open source framework, and they let people just build the apps on top of it. And then now there's many startups and products that are using Remotion as a building on top of their infrastructure.
Right.
Yeah.
So they kind of become the engine, the rendering engine. They just make the basics, and then people build on top of them.
Really cool. Anything from this article that caught your eye?
Yeah, so like recently, the thing with Remotion is that it's built on React, and then recently HeyGen, they have been using Remotion a lot, and it's Remotion has been trending in the last couple of months. Many like a lot of more people have been using Remotion, and then recently the HeyGen team was using Remotion a lot, and then we're like, there's some limitations about having it to be React. So they're like, let's just build this from scratch, and let's build another layer that's just pure HTML. So you don't go through the React part of it, but everything is just HTML. So they relaunched this like a week ago, 10 days ago. And so that's like so at that moment we were like, okay, shit. Should we just rebuild our platform to support this as well? But that's kind of the sentiment in this little world that we're moving in right now. Whether Remotion is still the state of the art infrastructure for it, or whether you should put it like a layer deeper of like let the LLMs just spit out pure HTML instead of having to go through like a framework as React.
Right.
Even though, because they're making a point that the internet is HTML. Yeah, that's right. And this is not that much, React out there. Even though React have like, the main part of every website is React. 70% is using like React. That's kind of the question now. And there's some open source project that has both. But yeah, you just gotta test it out and see.
Interesting. How do you guys think about the business? Obviously, things are changing so fast. You build something, and then the next day, either somebody copies you, or the foundation, the ground shakes and ground changes, and you're like, "What was I building on top of?" So, how are you guys thinking about this? Like, are you kind of married to this idea, or this, let's say, this one lane of video demo, or was it just one project? It worked, and now you're moving to the next one.
It's a good question. I mean, like just 3 days ago, Claude Design came, and then suddenly everyone can like make some sort of motion graphic videos.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've always been very excited about the idea of like programmatic video as a whole, and software demo videos was a very small niche that we could focus on because we were building software and we're kind of like building for ourselves. We thought that is like a problem that needs to be solved, and we can start there, build a platform around it, uniquely go to one thing. Yeah. And I think now we're kind of moving outside of that. We've learned being here, like, software demo videos is not a great business. Like, okay, sure, people are launching all the time, but we see from our user behaviors, like, they'll sign up for a paid plan for like 1 month and then churn. General feedback is like, I don't need this anymore. I've already launched. I'm not going to launch again for 3 more months. So we've been kind of moving more towards...
That makes sense. It's more like it's not like a repeatable thing.
Exactly.
Or maybe it could be a repeatable thing because a company wants to keep people updated with like quick... it's like we are part of NS, and we would love that every month or every bi-weekly we have like a one quick 1 minute video of, hey, what's new over here?
Yeah, exactly. And you would say like it takes a lot of work to make one good demo video, but then you can, as Marcus was saying, you can pump that out in like 50 different languages, color, styles, features forever after. So that's why we're really thinking, okay, we're pivoting more towards like our users come to make skills, which is basically the automated workflow of like how to take an input. An input could be like
blog post,
newsletter, stock price data or something like that, and how to like digest the data, create scenes, voiceover, music, etc., and like output a video. So yeah, we're trying to move into like automated content production at scale.
Really cool. Really cool. One idea I'm just thinking about is like even for NS we have the lunches, long-term lunch, short-term lunch,
Yeah.
and what they're doing is basically releasing. They're kind of sharing the updates.
Yeah.
And one thing you can help with them with is just like every week when they do this, you can like okay quickly put that into your video,
Yeah.
make a 30-second video that we can share with people who are not able to attend, but still want to keep updated that okay this is what they launched.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
perfect use
That's
case.
a
Because
perfect use case.
The goal is to find recurring customers now because that's the problem. Launch videos are just launching, but once you launch, where do you go now?
Exactly. So we just got like our first paying user for like
Okay,
content as a
let's go.
service today.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, where's the cowbell?
Yeah.
Where's the gong?
Oh my god.
That's
What do
what you
we?
need.
How do we do that? How do we replicate the gong? Oh my god. Okay, next time we'll have a gong.
You need a gong.
We need a gong. We need something.
But
The gong.
What's the gong?
close enough. Yeah. So basically, what we did is like, yeah, we built like a style guide, a brand MD, and the client sent like a report, like a 20-page report on how LLMs are, like how to optimize your SEO for LLMs, and he's like, yeah, all right, give me 10 videos so I can post videos every day, and like let's benchmark it against my ad spend.
Really cool.
So yeah, trying
Okay.
that out.
Interesting. All right. Let's see the next one. What do we have next? We have session management and 1 million context using Claude Code.
Yeah, so I noticed at NS there's a lot of Claude Code lovers. They're you know, it's not a secret. People love to use Claude Code here.
Totally.
However, I found like recently, you know, every now and then I keep jumping from whether Claude Code or Codex is my preferred working model.
Right.
And the last couple of weeks, I've been mostly using Codex.
Codex, yeah.
Because Codex is better. It's
Right.
like higher. It's when you really want to get into like some details and some hard implementations, Codex models are just better now. One thing that can be the reason for that I have like a theory on that I haven't really verified, is that after Claude Code actually released a new feature of having a 1 million context window, maybe that actually made the system a bit stupider. Because there are, you know, yeah, sounds like a good feature. Oh, you can have 1 million context window, but you keep rotting the context, and then actually the models are performing worse and worse and worse. And they, like the team of Claude Code, they keep saying, you know, if you just, you know, you need to refresh and reset the context window every now and then to not make the model stupider. But how many people do that? I think most of the people like keep just, you know, throttling the context window and just more and more and more and more, and then yeah, the outcome becomes worse. But so like it's context engineering. It kind of it's like a term now. How do you put the you know correct context to the model? They have a good system where, you know, they spin off sub agents, which is, you know, it works really well. If you want to like have a deep research on something, instead of just spinning up, you know, throttling the context of this one model, just keep delegating context to different sub agents. The sub agents makes a summary and it gives a summary into the main session. So yeah, I think that might be one of the reasons why, you know, the Codex models are actually preferred for many people now.
And how do you think Codex is handling the context situation?
They have max 250.
Okay.
They don't, and then they have much more a system of like, how do we compact the context? We're never allowing the model to get to 1 million. 250 is the maximum. So much more often, it's just like, okay, now I'm automatically compiling the context down, and then it does that more often. But then it keeps fresh, you know, it keeps itself fresh.
Right. It's very interesting have you guys heard about this book called Algorithms to Live By? It's
I've
pretty
heard
cool.
of it.
It's a pretty cool book. It's like all these interesting optimizations and algorithms that computer scientists apply to make efficient systems. What can you learn from them and apply that to your normal day-to-day life, especially for normies? That hey, how do you sort clothes in your closet, stuff like that. So this is like a very interesting problem, right? Like the context problem. We have had a lot of conversation on context, on memory. Claude is very bad at memory. It tries to over-index on something that you talked about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is amazing because ChatGPT understands that it evolves as if you're a human. That I know you are into let's say kickboxing. I know that, and maybe I'll refer to it sometime later. I'm not going to try to respond every answer with the fact that you like kickboxing. That's the reason you need to go here.
Or you're still heartbroken from that girl.
Exactly.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's
Exactly.
2 months ago. I'm not heartbroken about that.
Even if you were not, it's reminding you, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a good
You were
point.
sad. Remember that.
You're sad. You're depressed. No, but it's a good point because computer science and artificial intelligence are like their whole idea has been, okay, but how does the human work? How does the human brain work? And they try to make models that kind of trying to take the brain as an inspiration and make models around that. Like, but how exactly and they're like, the best AI scientists, they're great philosophers in the sense of knowing how the world works, knowing how the mind works. So you try to replicate that kind of in AI. But then it comes to a point that is such a good model that we go like the other way around. It's like, okay, but how does the computers work? How does the algorithms work? Maybe I should apply that to myself. So it's like a play on like both sides there.
Very interesting. It's like a simulation that can. Humans are messy. Human coordination is messier, and it's a very fragile ecosystem. But in computer, we can run very clear simulation that can follow the rules to the T. And when you kind of compare both of them, that what does the messiness give us versus what does following rules strictly give us? You obviously the response is somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, very interesting. Yeah.
And it's like Balaji said on the A16C podcast yesterday. It's quoting George Orwell saying, it's insanely difficult to notice what is exactly in front of your face. It's like, what are the algorithms that you follow day to day? It's maybe not that easy to actually see them yourself.
That's very interesting. It reminds me there's this beautiful talk. It's called, or I forgot the talk, but it starts with a story that a old fish is swimming past two baby fishes, and the old fish is like, "How's the water?" And the baby fish is like, "What is water?"
Yeah.
You are so much ingrained and you are so much into your reality that you forget that it's just a sliver of the actual reality.
Yeah. There's have you seen the David Foster Wallace?
That is it.
As a This
That
Is Water.
This is water. That's
Yeah, that's a
exactly it.
great
David
one.
Foster Wallace. Exactly.
That's a great one.
You got it, yeah. This is exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. He just told me at lunch that you were into philosophy, Nietzsche, and this is exactly it's coming out. Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
All right. Anything else on Claude Code?
I'm just team Codex.
Okay. Claude Design.
Claude Design.
Insane.
Insane.
Unbelievably good.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like today we're just working on new onboarding flow, and the fact that it'll just spit out like 5 completely different examples.
All really good.
So good.
And then the fact that you can just hand off the Claude Code and you just give the design file to Claude Code and like, oh, this is what you want. Okay, nice. Yeah, it's such a great
Crazy.
system.
You guys saw this entire overlay that I've done with, it's all Claude Code. My dad saw this sticker. One prompt. It's just one prompt. My dad saw the sticker and he's like, this looks official. And then when I told him I'm doing it, he's like, wait, did you make it? I'm like, yeah. And he's going crazy.
I'm finally proud of you, my son.
Thank you.
But also like GPT Image 2 is just wildly good at doing user interface
Okay,
design.
amazing that you talked about that because I literally got an example over here. So my prompt is create a YouTube screenshot of an OpenAI live stream where Sam Altman and Rahul Gandhi, a politician, announced that Rahul is the new CTO.
That is insane.
Guys, look at this. It got the entire screenshot thing right.
Like,
Is it any?
I
It's
don't
almost
see-
perfect.
Yeah, I don't see any issues over here. Join us for a special live stream as you welcome Darada as a Chief Technology Officer. Live Q&A to follow. You got the signed out YouTube account. You got YouTube IN as someone is looking at this from India.
it's crazy.
Because, most likely someone will be watching it from India.
Yeah,
Just by,
exactly. I
population.
mean, obviously, if somebody is, it's kind of like very context aware as well. If somebody's asking Rahul Gandhi, you wouldn't know who Rahul Gandhi is.
Yeah.
So they're like, only someone in India would care
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
Only someone in India would watch this. It's like the subtitle button is on and subtitles are on. Crazy.
Interesting.
Emoji.
Yeah.
This emoji. This
Yeah,
emoji, yes,
yeah.
this emoji is wrong. You don't have emojis in subtitles, yeah.
No, that's the only thing.
Yeah, we
There we
found
go.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Because this is like this subtitles are, or this transcription is like auto generated by YouTube,
Yeah.
so they don't actually put emojis over here.
But imagine like that's the level there the image model is
Exactly.
at now. Like you really have to look and then maybe you find something.
Exactly.
Wow,
They
that's-
do love emojis.
They love emojis.
Yeah.
Like our system prompt is like 90%. Do not use emojis. That's our system prompt, and it makes videos for us.
This is crazy. Oh, this is amazing that you said that, because I'm like, I literally saved this for the stream that we'll talk about this.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this yesterday because now they have CDance 2, the new video model.
Right.
It's also insanely good.
Right.
And we were just thinking about like, okay, so if you use like CDance 2 is really good at character consistency. You can upload a screenshot of this character, and these characters should stay the same throughout all the videos.
Yeah.
And then you can have last frame and first frame. And then if you use GPT-2 for the image model to generate the images, that's going to be like the first frame and then the last frame. And then use CDance 2 for video. You can create some great stuff.
Yeah, and like the inputs you can do, is it like up to 16 different files, and you
Yeah.
can mix audio, video, and image.
Crazy.
All in one prompt.
That's where we're getting at, right? Like, it's like people, like if we believe that technology only gets better and cheaper, then all these models, right now we have 5x, or let's say 5x, I'm paying $180 for Claude Pro, Claude Max for 5x usage. With that same price or even cheaper price, I'm gonna get more, and it's gonna be even more capable. It's gonna be multimodal.
Yeah, and like batching. If you want to wipe off at least 50% of the cost, you can just like run it in a batch.
Right.
And as Anthropic said, most of the time it's delivered in an hour. So you're like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you can really
Yeah.
save a lot of money.
Really
and all
cool.
these open source models like are getting just as good. They're basically free. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah. What's your view on like where the compute costs are going to go? Are they going to go up or down from here?
It should go down, right? I think this entire concept, or we are definitely waiting to see this entire conversation on data centers as well, because Meta just announced that they have launched a course to train people to become plumbers or electricians, because they are
Yeah.
like, we
Yeah.
have to go and train people because we need a lot more of them. So there's fully new economy that is unleashing because of this data center thing, that yes, to bring compute costs low, we need more compute. We need to keep buying more NVIDIA H100s. We need to like keep deploying them in massive spaces. We need to talk to all the cities that, hey, who has free land? Because that land is going to be now becoming like a massive data center.
Even Jensen was talking about that in the Broadcast podcast. He was
Exactly.
like, what's the bottleneck for compute? Plumbers. We need plumbers.
Yeah, yeah. Plumbers, electricians.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine plumber, because I thought like plumber is just for toilet, but for data center you need plumbing.
It doesn't seem that complex either. Why don't they get like some software engineers to just figure it out?
Yeah, it's just like
Set up a robot.
Run through pipes.
It's like,
Yeah,
Block laid off 50% of their people. So it's like, okay, you can Claude Code for 5 hours, but what do you do for the rest of the time? You plumb. You go plumb.
I feel like we figure it out.
But also like so like now we all have like the $200 Claude Code plan.
Yeah.
And then but they have this model, this Mythos
Yeah.
Mythos model, like that they don't release to the public yet. There's gonna be, I feel like there's gonna be so much more of that kind of stuff. Like, okay, but there's a 2,000 model. Oh, there's a 20,000, because that you could just pay. It feels like it should go that way also. When you just have really power, that okay, we just prioritize you and you can just get because I feel like people would pay for that.
Yeah.
Companies would pay a shit ton to just get like the best, the fastest compute. If you can have something that runs for 1 hour instead of 2 hours, people pay for that.
Yeah. I feel it's not, that's the thing, they are trying, it's like, you have to kind of create a fear to then sell your solution. So they have created this.
Which Anthropic are great at.
Exactly. It's like, I think Anthropic has this news headline thing going on every 4 to 5 months that, and they make very extreme, extreme stance or extreme points, because that is what sells Anthropic then. And then they're not looking for 2,000 per month subscription. They're going for like $10 million, $50 million, $100 million.
Yeah, and I mean, but they are winning because of that. Because it's like they were talking about here that Anthropic is 10xing revenue every year,
Yeah.
while OpenAI is 10xing every second year.
Yeah.
If keep that going, you know,
Yeah.
it's just go for enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, enterprise was always going to be the biggest.
Mm.
And it's very
long run,
interesting that if you saw Dario on the Dwarkesh podcast recently, where on one end, OpenAI, Elon, you keep hearing them that, okay, what is the bottleneck? If bottleneck is data center, then you hear a lot from them about this narrative of data center, we need to do something with data center. You never hear anything from Anthropic.
Yeah.
You don't see Anthropic talking about data centers.
Are Amazon building out all theirs? How much of their compute comes from Amazon?
Definitely a lot, because Amazon was one of the early investors.
Very early, yeah.
But it's interesting, like how they are not, I think he was talking about this entire calculation that we are not trying to just max out on compute. I don't remember the exact point, but yeah.
Yeah, like just trying to grow sustainably, so
Yes,
they don't just go
yes,
bust,
yeah,
right? Because
yes,
obviously,
yes.
like this, you got to play the long
Yes.
game here, and like,
Mm.
yeah.
But
And where
yeah.
Sam, like OpenAI, I
Yeah.
think is taking a different approach.
What's your over under on what year you're gonna see like a data center by Anthropic?
Oh, I have no idea.
Anthropic data center, 2030.
Anthropic data center
In every city in the world.
in every city in the world.
I hear they're building some in JB.
What?
A lot of data centers. All the Singaporean data centers are going to be here.
It totally makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the place. Like for them, they're like, okay, we are landlocked. We need to work with you guys, and yeah,
Yeah.
we will bring the skills, we will bring the capital, and you give us the land.
Yeah.
Why land? Why not space?
That's true. That's true. Start with what you can do, but yes.
I love
Definitely
like Elon just being like, no, but the obvious solution is space.
Yeah.
And then you have Sam Altman being like, that's just stupid. That's just
Yeah.
stupid. I don't know what I don't know about that much about data centers in space.
Okay. Anything recently you've been hearing about it? Data centers in space? Because now suddenly, once Elon started that, now even Jensen in the latest, what is the conference called? GTX?
Yeah.
He started talking about it that, okay, now we are serving that need.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
we are the infrastructure. If you're gonna do something, we're gonna somehow play a role in helping
Yeah,
you
yeah.
out.
If you're doing it, we're part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but of course
exactly.
Jensen's going to say that. Like, they're like
Yeah.
best friends for a long
Yeah,
time, right?
and I think they
Customers,
actually they launched something. It's not just like said something. It's
Okay.
actually launched something.
Okay.
Now I don't remember. This is for the next stream. Maybe I'll do more research on data centers, space data centers. But yeah,
But it, like, is the whole argument not like, oh, the permits are the bottleneck?
yeah,
Just build it somewhere else. Build it in Cambodia or something where there are no rules anyway.
China.
Yeah. Yeah, why aren't they
Yeah.
all? Yeah. Well,
No.
but there's a lot of space and like.
exactly.
and
There's a lot of space in
regulated areas.
space, but there's
Yeah.
also a lot of space on land. Yeah.
And like, how are the permits and the regulations not going to hold them back for shooting 1 billion rockets into
Yeah.
space every day?
Yeah.
Like, because that actually is.
Space actually sounds much more dangerous because we already have this problem of space debris. I don't know if you saw
Is it
this.
a real problem?
It's an interesting, what do we say? It's like an interesting single point of failure, because it's like, why do you have a security guard? 99% of the time, nothing is happening. But that one moment when your security guard is a little bit sleepy and somebody just walks in and like does something, the system is done, right? So it's that kind of thing. Like when they started launching a bunch of Starlinks are amazing. At first, astronomers complained that, okay, now we see some shiny objects. We cannot look at the space clearly now. We see some Starlink disturbances. But again, when you keep launching a lot of these stuff and they do have a life, what do we call them? They do have a life in
Lifespan.
space, lifespan. Once you launch the Starlink, it's not like it's forever over there. It only has like a 6 year, 7 year, I forgot what,
Oh.
but a certain time after which you have to bring it down or something, if for maintenance or something. And if something goes wrong, one goes into the other and it just starts this constellation chain reaction.
Yeah. But space is gigantic, right?
Exactly.
Isn't it like 1 million times less cluttered as the sky above us?
It would make sense that
Yeah.
that is the case.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Let's look at this one. The fact that we're talking about space. So NASA, they actually launched this new thing. The planet can spell your name literally.
Hey, that's cool.
So all the natural
Yeah.
structures or natural landscapes that make a certain letter. Now you can just put your name over there, and now it shows you.
It just feels like, this is so AI generated. Like, how would you know the difference? How would you know the difference? Now, these days, when you have, like, it's the worst combination. We just released GPT-2 model.
I mean, the answer is brand. Do you trust NASA?
I think it would be cool. Wait. It's actually cool because you can look at it. You can hover over it. It's like J. J is from Karakaya Dam, Turkey.
And
can you click into it and
you
get
got
the
the
Google Maps?
coordinates. Put it into
Google Maps to see if it's like a real place.
It works. World view Earth data, and this is J.
So where's the J?
This is J.
That's the J. Okay, zoom out.
J. Zoom out.
Is it possible to zoom out?
Wait, zoom in or zoom out?
Zoom out.
Wait, is it that
Yeah, it's in
one or
Turkey.
this one?
No. Oh wait.
No,
not
we
that
might
one.
have to go there.
Yeah,
It's this
but
one.
I feel like we've been there.
It's this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's a J.
Yeah, it is a J.
Is it?
Yeah. What do you mean? It's a
it's
J.
a-
How do I rotate
J
this?
has a line.
I can rotate it, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can see.
You see it,
But
right?
where's the
I don't
top?
want the stream to end. Okay. This is J.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me get my charger.
Yeah, I got that.
You got it? Okay. Thank you. This is the J.
But that's we live, for context, Jack and I, we live in a camper van in Europe. So we
Yes.
have the option to spell
Wow.
our name, Bass.studio, Bazaar, our brand name. And then we just go to each of the letters. Because I'm sure you could like ask NASA to write my name, but I only want it to be like in Europe or something like that.
Oh yes. Bazaar. Let's see, Bazaar.
So
Where's
make a road
Bazaar?
trip out of it.
So Bazaar is in Arkansas, Alaska, Brazil. This is Z. Okay, this little thing is a Z.
Yeah, makes sense.
What's up?
Makes sense.
We have our guests. More guests. Okay, we have Norway, we have Kentucky, and we have
Norway.
Florida
Norway.
Keys.
Where in Norway?
Guys, come here. Did you guys see this?
What's up?
All right, we have more guests on the stream. We have
What's up,
Raj.
guys?
What's up?
Raj, and we have Tony. All right, we're gonna do this together. You are watching NSTV, okay? 1, 2, 3.
You're watching NSTV!
Let's go. This is the biggest one we had so far. Okay, but did you guys check this out? NASA just launched this website, so you can just put your name in there, and it just finds natural structures that represent that letter.
Do boobs.
Okay, so here's Raj. Oh, look at another J.
Okay, that makes sense.
So this is from Italy, province of Sondrio. This is Azerbaijan, and this is the Great Barrier Reef.
So put that on the bucket list.
Yes, we gotta see this J. Where is this
It's
J?
cloudy now.
Oh no.
Oh,
Is that live?
Yeah.
Is it live?
Is it?
Is it live?
Maybe.
I don't think it's live.
Oh,
But it's
yeah,
definitely a
it's a picture.
satellite.
No,
Yeah,
April 2026. Yeah, it's live.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Go
That's
back.
cool.
Scroll back a day.
Oh, J.
Nice.
That's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Every day, huh?
Wow. Look at this. Oh my
You
god.
should put that as like a screensaver or something.
Yes, yes.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
I heard you can use these like daily shots to look in the like oil refineries and look inside the big like oil storage drums, and then you can see the shadow based on like where the sun is and figure out how much oil is inside them, and then like either short or go long on the market based on supply.
That's some hedge fund stuff.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. I think the same stuff they're doing. You guys can have a seat over here.
Yeah.
You can join. Do you guys have your tweets? Just send me your tweet so we can put up on the screen.
Oh, what kind of like just anything?
Anything.
So there's some ones I already saw this week that were cool. Let me gather them.
What tweets?
Yes.
On
Just
what?
go on your timeline, pick 3 tweets, and send me over. We'll just put on the stream, and then we'll
Okay.
talk about it. Anything that you find interesting.
Okay.
All right, and feel free to join the conversation as well. But all right, what are we talking about? The next one, I thought this one was cool. I'm starting to buy into the iMessage as the final AI form factor hype. So now, I don't know if you guys heard about this company called Poke from California. They created this entire agent, which is like OpenClaw but for normies. So they don't have to go through the entire setup, and it's just straight from iMessage. And I use it.
Yeah.
and I like it. I just have a morning brief set up, so every morning I get like a quick brief about certain things, and I really like it because it's like iMessage has kind of become the final form. It's very standard. It's the most fundamental one.
Is it more fundamental than WhatsApp?
Only if you're American.
Only if you're American. That's
Find-
true.
find
That's
me a
true.
European
Okay.
who uses
Okay.
iMessage.
But
Yeah.
actually, when I say iMessage, what I mean is SMS, like your phone text. Obviously, if everybody has iPhone, that becomes the standard. But you're right. I think WhatsApp would be better if you are global. If you don't have iPhone, yes.
There's a lot of Asians that don't use iMessage.
I think setting it up on iMessage is hard.
And setting it up with WhatsApp, it's so easy.
Yeah.
That was the first, when we did our OpenClaw in January, yeah, we set up the OpenClaw in January. WhatsApp was the first, platform that we talked to our OpenClaw with.
Okay.
That was just straight into WhatsApp. So easy.
Really cool.
The developer ecosystem around WhatsApp is, I haven't tried on iMessage, but I could just think that it's like they don't support the same kind of infrastructure for you to build bots and stuff on iMessage. But I like the idea. I like the concept of just,
Yeah.
it's just where you already chat. That's where you have your guy. That's where you have it.
Exactly. It's very, so the idea this company is doing is no scroll, which is basically, you don't have to rely on any feed. And exactly. Pretty
Number that you can just talk to, right?
cool. OpenAI has, right?
Does it have a
Yes.
phone number?
Yes, OpenAI
Oh,
has.
you can text it.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, OpenAI has.
Because that would make sense as well.
Exactly.
This is a good idea. Like this, I'm sure they probably like have the same thing. But,
Yeah. For background, we were taught these guys are building like video demos using AI, using Remotion. So
Okay.
that's the reason. Like
That
this
makes
is
sense.
Kind of, yeah. It's just for context.
Yeah. Okay. So Remotion.
Yes.
So different type of Remotion, basically.
Oh, I was in their session last week. Basically, you come in with a landing page, pick some buttons, use an API key, and you can talk to Claude to create your landing page video.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you host the astrology session?
I
yesterday?
did. I had two. This one yesterday was my second one.
People
Yes.
said it was like amazing.
It was. Thank
Yeah.
you. Was it the girl that you were talking about?
Yeah.
What did she say about it? The girl.
She said this was great. I learned so much. Everyone was so
Yeah.
impressed.
Yeah. He was there as well, and I put
That's
one of my
good.
tweets on it, and you can talk about it later.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Okay, Raj,
I just sent you a tweet.
if you have one, let's put it up. Okay.
This one's about solar energy. Like,
Okay.
I think I've been a big solar, bull, I guess. I think for the last 10 years. And
We got Katie Miller. Let's go.
And it's just really good to see. Basically, I think just look at the numbers. Solar is the fastest growing thing. It's a major source of electricity. And coal's going down. Nuclear is kind of the same. It's kind of going down. Basically, really hard to build. But solar is super cheap, right? We can literally equip solar here on the roofs, right? Rooftops, it'll be fine. And then you have batteries, right? So that's basically the future. I think we're already living in. Certain countries like China are super into it, already well ahead because they produce it and they install it at a bigger capacity. In the U.S., I'm from Texas. In the U.S., and Texas is really good. It's number 2 in renewables next to California. It's about to overtake California.
When we say renewables over here, what percentage is solar?
This graph specifically is showing solar is the fastest growing renewable as well. So out of all the renewables, nuclear, you can call it renewable. Coal is not, but solar is the best one. It's the cleanest, cheapest, simplest way to get energy.
We literally live in that. We live in a camper van, and our camper is solar panels, right?
Yeah,
And we have a
amazing,
2,000
right?
watt battery that just
100%.
fills it up. And that's our day to day.
Simple living, right?
Yeah.
It's it's
And it works.
and it works 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's simple. It works.
The timeline on this graph is 125 years.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. That's right.
So
That's
what
the
does it
crazy
look
thing.
if you zoom in a lot? Because,
I'm actually
what
curious. What was
renewables?
happening?
Yeah.
In 1900, what renewables are we
We had
talking about?
electricity back then, genuinely, because
So back then we had batteries. We did have batteries, but there are different different use cases for the batteries. This is mainly solar, and so I think it does go back 100 years. We didn't have the tech at the utility scale, which is like basically zero. You can see.
Yeah.
In the 70s and 80s is when it actually started popping off, like being.
You know, nuclear,
So,
right?
like, here.
Yeah, nuclear and solar. Yeah, nuclear was like 40s, 50s, 30s
Right.
is when it started. Solar is like brand new, you can call it, like in terms of deployment.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then everything else before that is coal, natural. I mean, mainly coal. Like if you're talking about 1800s, 1900s,
Right.
it's all coal.
Right. Okay. The first comment over here is this is such nonsense, lol. 83% of energy consumption in the US is from fossil fuels. I think this person is talking about global demand.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
This is
not
the
taking into
glo-
consideration China because China is massive. On
Massive, yeah. They
solar
consume
panels.
coal. They continue to grow in coal. But if you look at the growth, like that's kind of the main thing to look at. It's not like coal is obviously still big. I mean, in the U.S. too.
Right.
Natural gas, fossil fuels, but solar is the fastest growing of everything. Like if you talk about growth. So when you talk about climate change and everything, like if you're realistic about it, none of the other technologies are actually going to compete. Like nuclear, it's hard to deploy because of nuclear issues, right? Nuclear weapons. It's costing a lot of capex to make like $10 billion in the U.S. to make each nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
Solar
But that's in the
It's
US.
in China, it's super cheap.
Yeah, in China they fucking produce
Hundreds of
nuclear.
them. Yeah, This is insane. Most of it is regulatory in the U.S.
Exactly.
that's
So like
the
it's
issue.
it's an issue in the US, and Europe.
In Europe, yeah.
But
But Europe
China's
has
going to take over.
China like that's kind of what it's showing. It's like if you actually look at where the solar come from,
Yeah.
China, like literally,
Yeah.
for the last 20 years, like they make every component basically is from China. In the U.S., what we do is we assemble the Chinese components, and then there's some domestic manufacturing, but you can't compete on the price. And then every year, it's like the solar price goes down by like 20, 30, 40%, and the batteries too at the same time.
Yeah.
So like, if you can live in a camper van, you can basically just have your own house, like basically at zero carbon footprint, and it's
Well,
super cheap.
Except the diesel we burned to move
This-
around.
yeah, exactly.
Did you guys have like what percentage was solar consumption in the van?
I mean, to charge our laptops and
Right.
like that's about it.
And 2 cappuccinos a day.
Makes sense.
Nice.
And then yeah, the Starlink. It runs on Starlink, and computers and MacBook and iPhone. That's like we go net zero every day.
Nice.
It works.
It works. Yeah, it's simple.
As long as you're in a place that has sun,
That's
of
like
course.
that. That's
Of
the-
course.
Yeah. What happens when you were not in a place with sun?
We're not. Then we find a
Yeah,
place
it
with
doesn't
sun.
matter.
Then we just drive the highway to the
McDonald's.
Oh.
Walking into McDonald's, carrying a battery and just plugging it in. I hope they don't say anything.
We're just charging our laptops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've done that so many times. And it takes like 1 hour to fill up that 2,000 watt battery. But then if you want to do it with sun, it takes like 10.
Yeah.
It's all day.
Yeah,
Right.
Damn. Not bad.
it works.
Yeah.
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 Not bad. Not bad.
So on this, what do you see as the upcoming? Like solar is gaining popularity. It's going to take over as being the main energy source in the world.
I think
Yeah.
eventually, like in 20 years, if it's so cheap to have install solar, like it would just be utility scale. But I don't think people are gonna put it in their houses as much as the utilities themselves are gonna be like, let's just buy it and have solar farms. Because I look at China, what's happening in China, and that's kind of what's happening. They have like these big, they have a desert, and they have solar panels everywhere in the desert, in whatever empty land, even in the water,
Yeah.
like in small ponds and lakes and stuff. So wherever you have empty space, just put the solar panels in, and then connect them with cheap batteries. So China's leading in all those things from a manufacturing perspective. The U.S. is kind of there in Europe as well, but from an R&D, you can't mass manufacture that enough. You just buy
Right.
from China.
Right. Okay.
Which is, I guess, like if you're on the climate change side, you're like, okay, how do we decrease dependency on fossil fuels, which is not going to go away because you still need it for plastics and stuff. It's still a good thing, like on the energy generation side. So it takes coal keeps going down, solar keeps going up. Plus, it's like energy from a decentralized perspective.
Yeah.
Energy efficient. Like you can have a van, right? Go anywhere. You can have your modular housing, right?
Yes.
That's what Donovan was talking about.
Yes.
Or like other people talk about modular housing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like look at this. Look at this world. The map is right behind you. Look at this
Yeah.
entire world.
Exactly.
And why is the entire world fucked up? Because of that tiny corner which is called Strait of Hormuz, and a couple tanks are
That's
like,
right.
stuck over there.
100%.
So I think that's the reason. Like micro nuclear reactors is a big business now.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
technology people are investing in. Solar, obviously.
Solar, yeah.
So you want to decentralize. We decentralize internet. We now want to decentralize
Energy.
currency and then energy.
I mean, currency is tied to energy.
Yeah.
Petrodollar exists
Right.
because of the oil.
Right.
That's the only reason.
Right.
If you decentralized energy production, it basically is like what? You don't even need a currency per se.
But aren't you also like centralizing it to China though? If
Yeah,
you
that's the
produce
other
it
thing.
somewhere,
Because if you're
then-
buying the solar panels, you
Yeah.
buy it from China,
Mm.
right?
Right.
So then you gotta trade in RMB, RMB or whatever,
Yeah.
or the yuan. So yeah, that's the other thing, right?
Right. All right. What do you guys think about the new ChatGPT model, the image 2? Yeah, image 2. It's producing a lot of like really good high-level consistency.
Interesting. That's
brand
like way better than I
consistency.
tried. Like last year, I was like,
Wait,
oh.
did you see what we just tried?
Oh, you guys did it?
Did you
Yeah,
just
showed
see?
up.
Create a YouTube screenshot of an OpenAI live stream with Sam Altman. Rahul Gandhi announced that Rahul is the new CTO. Check this out.
That looks
It is
real.
exactly.
Like from this angle, like I'm putting a couple feet
Yeah,
away.
I
Like it literally looks real.
There's one thing. Find the one.
There's
thing.
just one thing which
What
is
is
not.
it? What is it?
Which is which
The
is
fingers?
no.
No, not the fingers.
Fingers are
Okay,
amazing.
now it's great. They fixed.
Okay,
the
I'm not
fingers.
gonna zoom in. From that angle, it's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
We need to do the Where's Waldo benchmark.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Can it generate a Where's Waldo
Yeah.
and only have one Waldo? You want to test it?
Oh, let's do it. Look, but I want to see if they can find.
Yeah, from this angle, it's like kind of hard.
Okay, let me zoom
Did
up.
you zoom in?
Let me zoom a bit.
Okay,
it
that
helps
kind
a
of
lot.
helps. Yeah. Chief technology, but both CTOs. Or no, whatever, man. That's Rahul Gandhi, right?
Yes.
His name is on.
Right,
Sam-
right.
Right
Sam
side.
Altman.
It should be on the
Ideally,
Yeah.
that should be on the tab.
But that's
over here.
not that bad.
That's not that bad. Yeah.
Uh,
That's like normal announcement procedure.
yeah.
That it's true that this doesn't follow the brand consistency of OpenAI. Like this color.
green
Color,
one.
yeah.
This color is not consistent with OpenAI's brand. Yeah. But still, it works. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
Instead of where's Waldo, where's the emoji?
Emoji.
Confetti.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
see.
The confetti.
Is it
So
different
the
direction?
subtitles
Yeah.
is on, which is this is like auto generated transcript
Yes.
of YouTube, and
Right.
it never has emoji.
It does,
Wow.
yeah.
They don't have emoji.
But the ChatGPT 4, when you're talking to it and it's super friendly mode, it has emojis all the time.
Mm.
It even does 100 emojis.
Which
Like,
one?
and it's like
Which one?
the GPT 4.
Yeah.
When you're like when it's like the standard one, it's like
Yeah.
super friendly and like
Oh yeah.
like
yeah.
a bunch of emojis
Yeah.
everywhere. You know. So
They were just talking about it. Like they have like in the system prompt.
I was
Yeah.
just
Don't
about
use
100%.
emojis.
Do not use emojis.
yeah.
Okay, you wanna try that? What you were mentioning?
Yeah.
Can make a where's the Waldo?
Let's see. More image and whoa. All right, go.
Just generate an image of Where's Waldo. Maybe we can put them in network state.
Generate an image of where is Waldo? All right, that's my reverso. All right, let's see what happens.
How fast is it?
It is slow.
Yeah, it's not that fast.
It is slow.
It's cool.
But you
animation.
can change, turn it through the API, you can choose.
What's the price of one image in the API?
But look at this. So this person, she works at 11 Labs, and she just put all the brand stuff over there, and she's like, a single prompt generated what a hypothetical 11 Labs tennis invitational could look like. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, what's next? Next is SpaceX AI and Cursor are now working closely together to create the world's best coding and knowledge work. Cursor has also given SpaceX the right to acquire Cursor later this year for $60 billion or pay $10 billion for our work together. Thoughts?
They have 1 million GPUs.
There were 1 million GPUs Cursor needs compute. Yes.
I think this is M&A leverage, which
Yeah.
for sure, as they said. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I'm just supportive of the Swedish founder who owns 4.5% of Cursor and dropped off and now is building something new. I'm just like, yes, go Scandinavia. I'm just
What's his
happy.
name?
It's true.
Lundgren?
Okay.
Mats Lundgren? Mats Lundin?
I don't know.
One of the 4 co-founders, Swedish.
Okay. Do you know what he's up to right now?
he's like in stealth mode. They say he's building something new.
That's it.
Yeah, like 4.5%.
Should
It's
we,
like
should we
2.6.
invest our 401ks in savings? You know this guy?
Well, you know, Scandinavia is small.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably
But,
my neighbor. Yeah.
Pretty interesting how Cursor is using Kimi K2.5
Yes.
as their composer model.
Yes. That came out as a big thing, right? Because
Yeah.
they didn't clearly announce
Yeah.
or they didn't clarify that Composer is not built by them. It's just a wrapper of Kimi.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing the same thing. We're like trying to fine tune open source models. Like, you know, are you gonna make your own models from scratch, or are you just gonna and you can do a lot with just fine tuning a open
Exactly,
source
yeah.
model, a Minimax, a Kimi, a Quen. You can, and then the Cursor obviously have like a huge data set.
That's right.
Like imagine the data set that Cursor actually has.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you know, I think that's good enough. Yeah, it's a fine-tuned version of an open source model. It's still their model.
But when the biggest guys are doing that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we can also just do the same. Like you did a training run for
A fine-tuned run.
yeah. What was the cost?
Oh, $2.50. Yeah, to fine-tune a Minimax.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
We should be in
And-
the fine-tuning
yeah.
business.
And it's like 99% cheaper than Opus.
Yeah.
Yes.
So once you have the data set, you can just wipe out 99% of your costs and like
Right.
a two-man team.
It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
You only need the SpaceXI servers to run them on to run the model somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good business model.
Really cool.
Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah.
60
60 billion for acquisition or 10 billion just for the partnership work if you don't choose to acquire.
What is this partnership work for?
I think it's because Cursor, that's the point, right? Like the Claude Code at the start of this year when Claude Code became so big. You remember like before January, Cursor was the shit. Like Cursor was the thing. But after January, when Claude Code became the thing, we were like, why would I go to Cursor now? Go straight to Claude Code.
Yeah.
And now Codex has become better. Why do I need Cursor?
Oh,
But
yeah.
Cursor, what they are really good at is this entire interface design and product experience of the scaffolding on top of a model. Like how does a user actually use these models?
Right.
And Grok, in general, like Elon Musk companies, they are focused really on the model, the utility aspect of it. And now they need this expertise as well. That okay, who has built the scaffolding on top?
Yeah, Cursor has the distribution
Yeah.
with the user base.
And it is fascinating. Like it was in the late January or beginning of February where everyone would, like Twitter was just like, oh, I haven't heard anything from Cursor. Like they did. Everyone is using Claude Code. Everyone's using Claude Code. What happened to them? Are they dead? And then like they just like released a New York Times article, and they were like, yeah, we 3x our revenue since last time. Like, so yeah, we're fine. We're doing great. It's like yeah.
Do you know what was working for them? Like how did they 3x when
I
everybody?
think they went more into enterprise.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
they signed up like instead of people using like Copilot, people are using like Cursor, like big enterprise plans, because they have a good product.
Right. I mean, the only question I see is I know a couple months ago I saw that the product is actually negative gross margin though, just losing money today, and it will continue to lose money. So it seems like this is the best end game. Swap out 60 billion SpaceX stock or whatever Elon stock at the top. Even if it goes down to half, doesn't matter
Yeah.
because you get stock in Elon's companies.
Exactly.
And great for everyone.
Yeah.
The VCs and then the founders and the team, and then basically it gets swapped onto whatever the underlying Grok models if they're good. If they're gonna beat OpenAI.
No, totally. I think they also recently kind of hired, or you would say poached,
Yeah.
one of the head of design or head of engineering of Cursor, and these guys are definitely mad. And I think this is what's happening right now a lot, where you guys know the Figure company, right? Humanoid company,
Yeah.
and they were closely working with OpenAI.
Right.
And I don't know what was the project, but basically these are the humanoid experts, and OpenAI wants to get into robotics. So Brett Adcock was the founder. He's like, we stopped working with these guys because they were not that good, and we kind of felt that they were just kind of stealing our IP. They were kind of just building the knowledge, the expertise on what we are doing. So it's like it was not a helpful collaboration.
Right.
I think same thing goes over here. Like Cursor wouldn't agree for working with them unless they had this option, like just give us 10 billion for a partnership.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you don't want to acquire us, just the fact that now you have so much IP knowledge of how we work, give us money.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like, how many users do they have? Like, what are they paying 60 billion for?
Use Grok.
What is the user base of Cursor? Okay, this app keeps popping up. We need to stop that. Réflexion en cours des agents. Okay, that's French. I have my entire thing set up in French.
Hey,
That's
funny.
pretty fast.
It's a different
Wow.
way of thinking.
Different way of thinking. Do you
Like a
guys?
French monologue.
Right. That's interesting. Like, if that makes any difference, or is it just like just translating them?
I don't know. Maybe it's a philosophical
sure,
question.
yeah.
On what it is. Like, what do you think, Tony?
I think it's doing everything in one moment because it's predicting the next token. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's doing everything.
It's just like number talk.
I don't think it's doing it in English because models, when they process internally, they are not using language, or rather, they're not using human language. They're using what is a composite of training data,
Training
which is
data,
human
yeah.
language. But inside their embeddings, it's like millions of parameters, right? That's beyond any language.
Yeah. You wanna come over here?
Is Marcus coming back? Okay.
I think he's definitely coming back.
Okay.
But since you're talking, just so
Yeah.
that we pick up the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're paying 1,000.
So Dow is 1 million.
Paying 60.
1 million?
1 million. So I thought
That's
a bit
good.
more.
I thought it would be
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
It feels
So
like
million,
more.
so million let's say enterprise
No,
basically.
50,000 businesses.
That's
nothing.
So, million total users. Most of it. What's like the composition? Like
So
what do they-
million is Dow. Monthly active users is again single digit millions. Okay. Wait, monthly active it's saying 7 million. Okay. Cursor data puts it at more than 7 million. Let's see. And then business engineering teams is 50,000. 2026 updates. 1 million plus paying customers, 50,000 plus paying teams. Okay. What do you guys think about these numbers that we are reading?
Hard to understand like which one's true, but I mean if it's in the millions, that's still a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, how many?
Why is it worth
everybody-
60 billion then? Like,
Yeah, I don't think
for
it's
companies
worth.
to lose them.
I would if I mean Elon Musk is smart. He's probably gonna wait. He's talking about all this stuff to continue to buzz. It's probably he has 1 million GPUs. If he can rent that out to anyone, he starts competing with the hyperscalers and with the Amazons basically. So that capex has to have some cash flow associated with it at some point. So this is I think this is just leverage. They have a good relationship. I mean, Cursor has a good relationship with OpenAI. They've always gotten the models early, and so I think this is kind of like business strategy on Musk's part, which is like let's get these guys near proof of concept case study on them training a model. If it's good, we have the option. We can continue to walk away, and someone else is going to come around because we have 1 million GPUs.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing I would bet on, the dark horse. Even if Grok is not as good today, like this is a physics and compute problem. Which I agree with him. It's like literally he already has solar and batteries. He has 1 million GPUs, and that's even in the U.S. with the cost of energy in the U.S., which is high. And basically, if you have all of these resources, at some point you're going to attract enough talent and then some opportunity to buy someone out when the AI markets, at least the VC market, will start to correct, and the public markets start to correct in the next like maybe foreseeable future, 1-2 years, who knows when. But I think we're at some peak of the bubble, like some parts of the frothiness, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I would wait. Like, I'm sure he's way smarter than, you know, so,
Yeah.
like, this, he just knows intuitively, but I think it's a good business move on his part, too,
Yeah.
to just entertain this.
There's also talent. I think they have been going after Cursor for a long time,
For a
just
long
because
time,
of
yeah.
the high density of talent.
Correct.
Cursor is known for high density of talent, and a lot of, I don't know if you are like on Twitter a lot, but there is this there's this one, what do we call that? One publication, it's called Colossus.
Colossus,
and they
yeah.
covered
Yeah.
Cursor, their story, and how they were able to attract high density talent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it had become really popular in SF in
Correct.
general, that Cursor is really high quality talent, but maybe now the entire business is at stake because of the positioning of the product.
Exactly.
So
And I
you
think
still want to make sure that you're utilizing the talent at a bigger problem.
price.
Yeah.
100% agree with that. I think the other forcing functions right now are Anthropic and OpenAI are starting to do the Palantir forward deploy engineer model. So it's basically like McKinsey, Accenture style.
Yes.
We're going to let our engineers live at your company as quasi employees, and they're going to build anything you want because we have the best models. So that's the next enterprise. 'Cause I mean, we're all both worth like what 840 something billion,
Yes.
something like 900
Yeah.
billion, close to a trillion, right?
Yeah.
and then SpaceX is IPOing at like what 1.7 trillion.
Yeah.
Some crazy numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you sustain at least the narratives?
I'm actually curious. Would you know like what happens to the forward deployed engineers? Like, are they getting stakes in both the companies, like Palantir as well as the partner company?
No, I don't. From my understanding, no. I think there's just like technical salespeople that like live
Okay.
in the company.
That is also like that is the product, Claude Code. Like that is a forward like
It is,
engineers
exactly,
because
exactly.
like if you
100%.
install the Claude Code at that company, they
Yeah.
have the best engineers in the world. at
Exactly.
them. So that is the
20%.
product as well. Yeah.
100%. That's a good point. Yeah, and I think that's kind of the future maybe because the most they're actually, if you look at the jobs hiring posts on LinkedIn, they're actually hiring the most forward deploy engineers.
Which
right
one?
now. OpenAI and Anthropic.
Okay.
Like the most growth in jobs is in that area.
Very interesting. And that is the title.
It's a title. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know exactly if it's FW whatever
Right.
it is.
Right.
But it's basically the position is that forward deploy engineer.
So it's engineers that go inside a third
Yeah.
company, understand their workflows, compliance,
Exactly.
hierarchy, red tape,
Everything.
and figure out how to get the AI together.
Correct.
Because that's what they don't have, right? They only
Yeah.
have, they can build the best model,
Right.
but they still need the real business knowledge, that
Exactly.
domain expertise. Maybe it's locked in red tape, maybe it's locked in the CEO's brain,
That's
not
right.
systemized or scaled. They need someone to live in that system and figure out
Right.
and convert that into prompts.
100%.
And this is
workflows.
also where the capital is at right now, right? Because
Yeah.
their main product was to bring down the cost,
Yeah.
scale it, democratize it, but now you cannot make enough money because you are selling $20 subscriptions.
Exactly.
So the best way to do is go one-on-one and solve your very specific problem
Yeah.
and try to get a percentage of it.
100%. I mean, so Anthropic I saw was doing. They had the forward deploy engineers at Goldman Sachs in the last couple months, which it was reported in the last couple months. That means that like a year before that they're probably already
Right.
there,
Right.
or 6 months before. So, like if they're already there, within you're talking about if they can save $1 billion in cost somehow, or 100 million, at least 10% of that could be a SaaS contract
Right.
for Anthropic
Right.
or whoever is like OpenAI. So then that can be up to 9 figures. I guess the question always is like, how much is Accenture making from this AI bubble? And that's the TAM that OpenAI and Anthropic eventually will swallow. Accenture's, McKinsey's, because they're actually positioned pretty well, right?
Yeah.
To swallow some of this, like, what do I do with AI?
Exactly.
problem that
Yeah.
every exec's like talking about.
Exactly.
So
So is by Anthropic and OpenAI deploying their engineers into the companies, are they cutting out the middleman, which is all these McKinsey or all of them? But
Yeah.
because I kind of know that they create this consortium thing that working
Correct.
straight with McKinsey and Accenture, so to train them to go in.
yeah, so I just saw this I think yesterday on Twitter. It's like, so OpenAI has a partnership with Accenture, I think.
Okay.
You fact check that. Like you can do
You
it.
can
on
fact
Twitter.
check that.
But I saw it and I was like, wow, that's quite interesting. But
What was the question again?
OpenAI Accenture partnership.
Tell me more about the OpenAI Accenture and OpenAI McKinsey partnership.
I don't know about McKinsey, but yeah.
No? Okay.
But you can just search it.
We'll
yeah.
cut that out.
We'll see. It's real. But I saw Accenture with OpenAI partnership. But
Okay. Go ahead.
so yeah, I think long story short, there's going to be a pattern of this because like this is where the 9-figure contracts come from. Like how are you getting a $100 million contract every year and get value out of that? If you can save $1 billion, you can get that. So that's what is it? Meta's doing now. They're recording your laptop and your keystrokes.
Right.
Oh my god.
Like
Yeah,
internally,
yeah.
Right.
which is
right.
a huge, big problem now with like if you're a Meta employee, everyone just hates it,
Right.
obviously. But
Why do you think Meta is doing that?
automate. They
Okay.
want enough free cash flow to put into data centers. So if you can save $1 billion if you can cut out middle management, there are millions of dollars of comp you got to give out every year. If they're gone and automated per se by these agents, they basically you take that $1 billion and put it into data center.
Yeah.
Do you think they're constrained by free cash flow?
They're not. I don't think so. I think they see the writing on the wall though. That if they don't do, it's a game theory around this, right? Where like if they don't, if I don't do it,
Yeah.
they're gonna do it,
Opponents
and I'm gonna be out of,
yeah.
So Sergey Brin and Larry Page, they were like, oh, we're gonna go out of it. We don't care if we go bankrupt. We're in this. We're going all in.
Yeah.
Which is why Elon has
Yeah.
1 million GPUs.
It was very funny, like in Davos, where OpenAI, I think Sam Altman kind of first time talked about this idea that we will create ads, and people are talking about this idea that just a year ago you said that we'll never implement ads in our chat, but now you're saying it, and then the Gemini guy Demis Hassabis, he's like, no, we are not doing ads, but then I forgot what he said, but he said from a very philosophical standpoint, you know, we don't want to do ads. OpenAI can go do ads, we don't want to do ads.
Right.
But they're like, bro, you have
That's how
inserted
your
ads in
money's made,
every
yeah.
other product.
Yeah.
And now, yes, you're saying that, okay, not this one,
It's-
because that gives you a good angle.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it? Uber? Oh, we're not taxis. Oh, you actually are.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Like,
That's just marketing.
Yeah. It was very smart. Like when you think about it, it's like, oh wow, Demis is like very good about this.
He's
He's
very
like,
good.
I don't want to put ads, but then like, wait, your entire thing is just ads.
yeah. It's okay. Demis is in the R&D department.
Yeah.
Deep mind,
That's
so
true.
he can say
That's
that. Sundar Pichai can't say that on the earnings call.
That's
even the Super Bowl Anthropic ads, they were so great.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they were.
it's like, yeah, not us.
Not us, yeah.
Not us.
For a little bit.
For a little bit.
Don't be evil. For just enough. When we need money, we'll be evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the circle of life, right?
It does make sense, right? Like let OpenAI go into the unknown,
Yeah.
take the backlash, figure out everything.
Exactly.
And once people agree to this new behavior, then we'll be
We'll
like,
just turn
okay, now that's the new normal.
Yeah.
We are
That's
there
right.
as well. Yeah.
But OpenAI is definitely the fuck around and find out mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Try Sora, shut it down.
Oh
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Yes.
Try stuff. It's like, you know, but they have the fuck around and find out mindset of
100%,
Sam
yeah.
Altman.
They do, yeah.
You're doing the video thing. What do you guys think about the Sora? What did you guys think on the Sora model?
It was pretty great.
It was awesome as long as it lasted, but you know, I mean, I guess the, you know, video models are pretty. You need a full focus on something like that, and it's a good question. Like, okay, are you gonna compete with Google? They have YouTube. Okay, so good luck, kinda. And you're gonna compete with China with ByteDance. They have Cdance, trained on TikTok. Good luck. Like, what do you have?
But it was like very, very good. But it wasn't the fastest, the best, or
Yeah.
the best or the
Mm.
cheapest. But so it's mind blowing that they would
By-
shut it down. And
when you
surely
say- yeah.
it's the compute issue, right? Like
Mm.
you got to imagine it's coming back once.
When you say fast, it reminds me.
Wow.
It's ready.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
It's
is it?
ready.
Whoa.
All right. Where's Waldo?
What
Yeah.
the?
Oh my god.
Wow.
Well, I need to print this out. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
Put it in the front of NS. It's like a,
Is that him or no?
I don't think so. Don't think so.
Not?
I don't even know how Waldo looks like.
what are these
Here's
people
a-
even doing? Are they at the beach?
Where we got him in the
They're
top.
at the beach. The problem is it doesn't scroll. Very bad UI.
Oh,
That's him anyway.
this is a red hat.
Oh, so this guy's
There's
Waldo.
Waldo.
Okay,
He's
got
right
it.
there.
Okay, perfect. I think we. Wait, do we want to do this? I think we can do it. Okay, guys.
No.
Some
he's
of you
not here.
take left. I will.
We probably need to scroll down.
Oh, someone in the chat, find him.
Chat. Where's the chat? Why is chat so dead? Wait, this guy?
Take a screenshot and put it into GPT.
He doesn't have glasses. This guy, but he has the hat and the
Okay,
shirt.
now we put this to give this to Grok, right? Grok is
There you
supposed to be the good one.
Yeah.
All right, fine. We
What
want
do
to.
you use Grok for? What do you use ChatGPT or Gemini?
It's interesting, right? Like you kind of develop a behavior that for certain things
Yeah.
you are pulled
Yes.
towards things. Content is moderated. What?
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 They probably know.
In
Is there like a
Maybe they
signature?
found a new. someone that-
Exactly in Grok.
That's like that's why you use Grok.
Hey, what
So
about,
woke.
what about free speech?
Well, I mean, there were a lot of
It's just
bikinis
Waldo.
on that image.
It's funny because it's like when OpenAI announced a Disney partnership, and you would think like now it can generate Mickey Mouse photos, but it wouldn't.
But it wouldn't.
Then you go to Grok, it's like, yeah, Mickey Mouse. I'm like, what do you
Yeah,
want?
come here.
Let me give you everything.
At this point, it's like you don't even need to talk about the partnership. Just like copy it.
Alright, Claude is
It doesn't
working.
matter, like, what is content?
Find me
works
Waldo.
ways.
But interesting, like Cdance won't generate. Cdance 2 will not generate any videos with a human in it. A real human.
Really?
No.
Oh.
All blocked. Which is
Really?
crazy. They're like so
Is that
afraid
like
of being
a
sued.
law
and
in
so-
China like that just came out, or
No, it's
is
not a
it-
Chinese
is
law.
it-
Yeah, if you use
It's
the
an internal
Chinese
company.
API, you can do whatever you want.
Oh,
It's
so
not,
so
not
it's like a
Oh.
Western
Or not Winnie the Pooh.
API.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that's like because we were in a meeting with ByteDance there, and they were saying like, yeah, we have kind of two models. We have the Cdance 2 that we serve to the Western market, and the one in China. The one in China, you can have like Donald Trump fuck a gold. He will do it. He will do it.
Black and correct.
You can do anything, but like in the Western world, they were like, no, no human faces because there's so much regulatory. Like you can't take this human face, this human face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what about porn? Oh no, porn you can do. Porn you can do as long as you
In the
want.
Western one.
But in the Chinese one, they will not do porn. But they will do like Donald Trump or like
Yeah,
whatever.
that's weird.
So that's a
It should be the
fascinating.
opposite, right?
yeah. But what also is interesting is like they're like, no, you can't have it. Like we're still building the guardrails. You can't have it unless you give us $1 million. If you'll commit $1 million, we're okay.
With anything.
You guys to take the risk that you'll create some
That's not
crazy
bad.
shit. Well, we don't own it. We just have to.
Well,
like,
if you're a movie
commit
maker,
to spend.
like
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you can $1 million is nothing for if you're making a movie, right? Like
Yeah.
a full feature
Yeah.
movie with whatever you want, right? Like
Yeah.
that would be kind of interesting. Is anyone doing it? Like, what are people using these video models today for? That's like the most money making thing. Like,
I mean, we have a friend who's in Australia now who's making a movie.
oh really?
Really cool.
That's interesting.
Mm.
There are a lot of film festivals coming up. Like
Uh-huh.
in SF, I recently saw a film festival. It's very specifically like, okay,
Mm.
2-minute films,
Right.
2-minute very short films,
Yeah.
fully made by AI.
Yeah, there should be like a
Yeah.
Canes for AI, right? Or
Yes.
something like that.
Mm.
Yes.
I saw it because now they're making a new like the HBO is making a new Harry Potter series, right?
Yes.
Because like Harry Potter, like one of the greatest movies of all time, they're remaking it now with J.K. Rowling
Mm.
as like a part of the team. So they're just gonna remake every movie, every book into like a new movie.
Series.
And then I saw like since Harry Potter was trending, there was like on X, it was like a guy who was remade Harry Potter 1
Mhm.
in like 2026 version, and it was maybe it was like 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I just watched the entire. It was like 45 million views, and I just watched the entire thing, and it was so good. It was so funny. Everything was like made with video models, and the character consistency was so good,
Dang.
and it was it was.
That's
it was
a
great.
good advertising spot for Claude or OpenAI.
Yeah.
Put like their own models in there.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, Claude coding, vibe coding, something.
Yeah.
It's
The
magic
entire
basically, right?
the entire concept of what are those like Avengers thing? What if?
Mm.
The entire
Yeah.
What If
Yeah.
series
Yeah.
could go crazy
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
The world is your oyster,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
And-
I haven't looked at some of the content,
Yeah.
so I'm not really familiar with it, but
Yeah.
it
And
seems
Netflix
like
had the Bandersnatch,
yeah.
very specifically choose your adventure. Like at every step, it's like giving you 2 options.
Wait.
Now you can keep doing that.
That was like Squid Games or
No.
was it? Or
It
which
was
one
called
it? It was
Bandersnatch.
the entire show for with Pick Your Adventure.
It was a
Yes.
movie, right?
It was,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I forgot the entire story, but a movie, and then the Bandersnatch thing was inspired by that movie, and then you choose your adventure and you go into these multiple alternatives.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But like all this stuff's going to be generated on demand. Like
Exactly.
so
That's right.
Like there's some image models, and it's like 0.1 of a second to create a
Yeah.
HD image.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like how long till that's video?
Yeah. Imagine you're watching a movie, you're like, I don't like this scene.
Mm.
Change it.
Change it.
Do you want
That would be
that?
kind of
though?
crazy.
Do you want that? Because some of the stuff that people are talking about now is that people miss the fact that you had to this TV show came on Friday at 8 and the fact that everyone in their houses got together at the same time to watch it, that's kind of the beauty about it. But
Community, yeah.
so like if you're watching it and everything is like personal towards you, is that what you want?
I think they're more for advertising, not for movies. But if you're doing
advertising,
ads,
yeah.
you're making
Yeah.
ads, TikTok
Custom
ads.
ads.
I've seen micro. The viral pattern now is that in each reel you actually have a micro series in a longer set of story, like Netflix style. That's the thing that's popping, right? For whether for business or for advertising.
That's interesting. So that makes money.
That makes money.
And
Makes you
that could be scaled.
advertising, not like family gathering style, but like you make a series around your content, around your product, around your distribution. and
Exactly.
create
Makes total
characters.
sense.
Yeah.
So many examples. I think one thing would just be the Michelin tires.
Mm.
You kind of created this entire Michelin star restaurant just so that people can, what do we say, wear and tear their Michelin so they buy more Michelin.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And similarly, shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of so many examples because that is it. Like what are we doing anyways? What we are doing is one person is building product, other people is capturing attention. Then you're like, okay, now put your product over here as and read as an ad. But you're like, no, let's actually infuse that into the content itself so it becomes part of the story.
Yes.
And that's where Apple is like, okay, only the heroes will use iPhones, the villains won't use iPhones.
Right.
And yeah, so many examples. It's very smart
That's
marketing.
really interesting. I mean, that you brought that up because like I think Apple is like the best company. One of the best companies in marketing, next to like Nike and there's other ones too, but like off the top of my head. And there's like this almost like anthropological thing where they look at how humans are and then how they're moving and talking to each other and stuff, and then they make the ads based on the zeitgeist, right?
Interesting.
Like because like if you like I remember like you know when they launched the iPod,
Yeah.
they had like that like silhouette ad where like people were dancing with the headphones, wired headphones,
Yeah.
and that was like such a hip and cool ad. Like I was in like what is it, high school and college, it's like you want to buy it because it felt so cool.
Yeah.
Like you know, so there's something there maybe to you guys custom ads, right? Is what
Yeah.
you guys are talking about, and if you can do that for every brand, that is insane, right? Like if you can scale a custom ad like that.
But that's also like art.
Yes.
That's like art.
Yes.
When you're able to like tap into like the
Oh, yeah.
zeitgeist and that
Yeah,
way, that's
yeah.
like that's when like media or like content becomes the difference between just like mass producing content and just like actually producing art.
Yeah,
Mm.
100%.
So that's still gonna be like a difficult thing.
Yeah, 100%.
On a high level, this reminds me of like, you know, what are the two extremes? The extremes is starving artists,
Yeah.
all art but
Yeah.
cannot make money.
Yeah.
Right.
On the other hand, you have like a stock trader, let's say, crypto
Yeah.
trader,
Yeah.
who's like going all in on candles and like making a lot of money,
Yeah.
but doesn't have any soul, or you talk to them or
Mm.
philosophy, it doesn't work over there.
Yeah.
So the answer is always the middle way, which is like, okay, you have the balance of art and business.
Right.
Yeah, which is like launching music videos and seeing people with like a speaker, a headphone, or stuff like that. I think Beats used to do that.
Beats,
So Beats
yeah,
headphones,
Beats.
yeah.
They had good
That
marketing.
reminds me. That's a good example.
Beats, yeah. Beats
yeah.
was good. Yeah.
By Dr. Dre.
Huh?
Dr. Dre, yeah.
Back in the day, it was like.
Dr. Dre had this thing,
Art.
like he's literally like sitting in a music, he was a music producer, so he's sitting in his office,
Yes.
and as every artist is coming to him, he's like, hey, what do you think of this headphones? Put it on. Then he clicks a picture, he's like, goes on Twitter. He's like, okay, Drake was wearing Beats, so you should be wearing
Exactly,
Beats. And
exactly.
Drake is like, I was just listening, I was just testing this thing, what were you talking about? Yeah.
You know, they just paid some.
3 billion.
Yeah, but to develop the product was like $30,000.
Yeah.
Just paid some guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the rare acquisitions Apple made.
Yeah.
Still not able to find the Waldo.
Scripting.
Wow.
Oh, it's scripting.
Why?
Scripting. Create script to
That's such a-
Is it
Dropping
is
move,
this
that's
an
such a-
excuse for it to get out into the world? Like scripting itself to get
This
out.
is crazy. Create script to find striped shirt pattern.
That's such a Claude move to do. I'm gonna find Waldo. Let me write a Python script.
Systematically hunted Waldo through varied visual strategies.
This is like a decomposing the spectral composition of RGB.
I think ChatGPT did a really good job at like,
Yeah.
what do we say, hiding Waldo.
As long as it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's
Yeah. Yeah.
So that means we can hide subliminal messaging in the thing.
Yeah.
But can you ask ChatGPT, is it in
Yeah,
there?
make us
Because like
something
it'll
in-
probably know.
Where's the answer? Yeah, if you asked it.
By the way, did you actually make it?
Is it actually in there?
It's just going in a loop.
Oh.
Whisperflow is actually pretty good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
My sponsor.
what model are they using for transcription?
No idea.
It's fast though.
I just
Oh,
use it.
really? Oh.
Oh my
No.
god.
Oh.
Motherfucker. But
Dude's
that's
trolling.
This is AI in a nutshell.
What you've got
yeah.
is where's Waldo's style C, not an official one. What?
Fuck off.
What?
Gosh.
It's like a stage set with no actor. Bro, Claude is going crazy because of
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
What are you
yeah,
doing? Yeah, Claude
Rage
just
inducing hunt.
Claude just went crazy because of you. But anyways, okay, OpenAI Accenture, we had something over here. Internal rollout at Accenture is ChatGPT Enterprise. OpenAI is a primary partner. Flagship AI client program. Executive quotes. By combining OpenAI's breakthrough technologies, we will accelerate enterprise reinvention and business outcomes for our clients. Okay. Accenture is now putting ChatGPT in the hands of tens of thousands of its professionals to help teams and clients move faster. Okay. Yeah, so they create this consortium called Frontier Alliance with Accenture, Boston
Yeah.
Consulting Group, McKinsey, and Capgemini. Okay, cool. All right, next tweet. On Twitter, we now have custom timelines. So
That was good, yeah.
Who made that video?
you know this guy, Benji Taylor? Benji Taylor, he was before at Family Wallet, which was acquired by Aave. Then he was behind this Coinbase redesign. He became the base head of design. And then Nikita Beer tried to poach him, and they finally got him. So we'll see X slowly become more aesthetic.
This was aesthetic for
Aesthetic, yeah.
100%.
Yeah. He's slowly changing. It's like the new
I feel that on the app.
yes.
It's more slick.
Okay.
Like I think like on the iOS, it's like you know how the panels on the side
Yeah.
used to just like come in, and now it's like just slides.
Okay.
Like the magic glass slide. Yeah,
Interesting. The sickest thing is just the X. What do we say?
The animation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You guys saw this?
Yeah.
Like just when you open X.
Yep. That was smooth.
Oh.
That is so cool. That is so
So
cool.
that makes sense. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Okay, so what is a custom timeline?
What is custom timeline? Now you can pick and choose that, okay, I only want to see tech and soccer. So now your entire feed is kind of like on a meta level, it's algorithmically designed for tech and soccer. And what they are basically doing is they are passing through every tweet produced through Grok. So Grok is smarter and it has more understanding of not only what you like, but what also is culturally relevant in the zeitgeist. So stuff like that.
That's good because like I think the big criticism of like most social media is that it's like negative. It incentivizes negative stuff and amplifies that, and it's really hard to customize your timeline.
Because they just open sourced the algorithm, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they just have LLM like Grok, just like another layer of just filtering before it comes to you.
Exactly. So every tweet passes through Grok now.
That's interesting.
What your I saw Jack's feed today and it was interesting. But anyways, I'm curious about your X feed. How does that look like? Are you guys are you finding relevant things? Are you finding very interesting things? I'm having a lot of fun with X feed. And this is the best thing, like when I find someone interesting on NSTV and they send their top 3 bookmarks and then I bookmark it,
Right.
I'm training my algorithm for something
Exactly.
new.
That's right.
Like yesterday we had Randall, and Randall is very much into, let's say, geopolitics and like geopolitics.
DAO stuff.
Not DAO. He didn't bring any DAO stuff, but very like he's very culturally aware,
Yeah.
culturally contextually aware. So he brought a lot of interesting stuff, and now I'm seeing some changes to my feed.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, like how you can keep like enriching your feed.
That's right. I think I mean, what I've also noticed is I've also bookmarked
Yeah.
more than I like now. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like bookmarking something is much easier.
Yeah.
I guess.
You don't even read them,
You
but
read-
you're like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
you don't
bookmark.
Can someone make an app that just takes all my bookmarks,
Yeah.
saves them somewhere, and just give them to me when I want
New
them?
idea.
Exactly.
I
You should
see
do
that
it.
somewhere. No,
You should do it.
Someone has built something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they have to.
Wait, what was the idea? Take bookmark and do what? Do what?
Feed them to me when I want them. Give them to my Claude Code. Like, oh, but by the way, you're talking about this now.
Yeah.
You did save this a month ago. This is what you were thinking about.
That's a good idea.
This is a good one, right?
Yeah.
It's like Readwise.
Yeah.
You read a book,
Right.
you mark particular quotes, and then Readwise has this feature where like randomly it will give you 5 quotes from like randomly 5 quotes from whenever you started this thing.
You're a fan of the Founders podcast?
Which podcast?
Founders.
Founders. I'm not listening to Founders a lot.
It's a good one. Yeah.
It's
There's
but
some
it's good. It's good.
ones, yeah. I haven't listened
Why
to
would
a
you
lot,
say that? Like
but-
anything comes up?
I mean, it's just this guy who reads biographies of
Yes.
history's greatest entrepreneurs and kind
Yes.
of gives his take on them. And he promoted Readwise for a long time.
That's
so
right, that's
why
right.
you were a fan of them.
Yeah, I think he started this entire thing called Sage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
So he would take notes on his entire reading. He would put it over there, and then he would be like, "Okay, I will sell you my Readwise as a subscription."
Yeah, for like $500.
Exactly, $500. Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
This
And
is-
I'm guessing he quickly realized that, bro, Claude Code. Like, why would I not use this Claude? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the bigger sponsors came in.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
I listened to 5 episodes yesterday, so I'm just like getting back up to speed.
Nice.
It's been a while, you know, at NS, you don't have a lot of spare time to listen to
Yeah.
podcasts, so.
Yeah.
Jack he listened to 5 podcasts, but he also ran 55 kilometers yesterday.
Yes.
So he was putting
Let's
in all
go.
the podcasts.
55 kilometers.
go.
Wow.
Eight
Amazing.
loops around NS.
That's
8
crazy.
leaps. Wow.
Around the entire island.
Yeah.
That's
On a
insane.
beautiful day, this place is actually beautiful. On a beautiful weather, this place is actually beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah, like we took the scooters one day, me and Nader, again, friend of the pod, friend of the stream, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. He just punctured his scooter. That was the only bad thing.
That's okay.
But you can run back.
Yeah, exactly. But okay, any thoughts on your timeline?
It's a great algorithm. I just get exactly what I want every time. I love the algorithm.
Terrible algorithm gets me.
It just keeps you fun.
Yeah. I think it has become really important that if you find something good, go like it.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
giving the algorithm signal that you're
Yep.
training it that hey, give it signal that hey,
That's right.
show me more of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that has become really important.
I've been bookmarking for the last couple of years. And
Yeah.
I think that's helped a lot.
I
And-
noticed this
yeah.
thing. So like I generally like what I see, but I noticed there's teams like every 5 tweets I get, one is on like dating and seduction, and then
Hmm.
one is on like
Yeah,
tech
ads.
founderhood. Sometimes they are ads, sometimes they are like organic or they look organic.
Okay.
Sometimes I get like tech startup stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling maybe the next level would be somehow, you know, with all the data collection going on, it would know whether I'm at a desk eating my lunch or I'm actually deep in deep work. Because
Yeah.
the tweets I want to see at different times, whether I'm at work or at, you know, taking something. I want to see different things, right? Yeah, a different state of mind.
Yes.
Right.
But the question is,
But-
are you online dating at the moment though?
Am I what?
Are you online dating at the moment?
I am. I'm reading that. It's relevant. It's just sometimes when you read about dating,
Timing.
I'm in a dating context and I understand that tweet, and then I can switch to like politics or I switch to founder stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know if you like it, but I feel like it does remove me and put me in and out.
That flow is.
This is all my
context
topics.
switch.
Yeah, it is my topics, and my feed has been trained on it. But I think like ultimately it's about curation, about sequencing, right?
Yeah.
When do you deliver the most, you know, about the cultural context? When is the best tweet at the right time? We know Twitter has all your likes and past, you know, they have the history of data, but
Hmm.
sending it to you in what order as that real-time data comes in, I think that's right time, right place, right data, right? That's how,
Yes.
I see
Yeah.
it. How does any social media,
Yeah.
any ChatGPT get to that?
Yeah. Yeah. This reminds me. Do you guys know this guy Signal?
Signal.
Signal?
App, yeah.
The
Signal?
Telegram, like
No, not Signal,
messaging
the
app.
app.
Not
Signal,
that
the
one.
guy on Twitter.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking
You know
about.
Signal?
I know.
Yeah, who has Shakespeare photo?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah. He
Signal,
talks about
Is it a New York?
Yeah.
He has a
New York
in New York. Do you Substack?
New
I-
York Substack. He's based on
He's
New
in
York.
BC New
Yeah,
York.
yeah,
He
he's
has a
in New York,
Substack.
yeah.
I follow
Okay.
him. I follow
Yes,
him.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
he
I
has a
follow him.
Substack.
I follow him.
He's a pretty good Substack. So he's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
like he's talking very meta about tech culture philosophy.
Yes.
He's talking
yeah.
very meta about everything. The way he talks is very convincing, very culture relevant. It's also very captivating. So he knows how to write. He knows what to talk about. It's pretty good. And he is pseudonymous, so nobody knows who he is. Something very funny is happening right now that he's going on podcast, but obviously he doesn't want to show himself. So A16Z basically created this entire video model of his pseudonymous identity is William Shakespeare, just a photo of William Shakespeare. So they created an entire identity where they just animated that William Shakespeare.
No.
And it's crazy, it looks pretty sick. You guys have to check it out, it looks amazing.
So A16Z did this.
A16Z, check out A16Z Signal podcast.
Interesting.
And what I was talking about is he's just launched Sky Agent. What is Sky? It's an agentic homepage, and that is it. I think that's what everyone is trying to do right now, which is like, okay, give me a morning brief. I have a morning brief.
Yeah.
He's creating an agentic homepage, which is like you open your phone, and now your agent is going and running for you. And let's say if we are over here in NS, every single day you get what are the most relevant events from your calendar, your most relevant events to attend today, looking at Luma, the most relevant news about the city that we are in and the state that we are in Singapore, and similarly in your business, what are the most relevant things that you need to know. So it's like, you know, an agentic homepage. It's constantly doing things for you and
Interesting.
finding everything in one page. And it could be bookmarks as well, that okay, go in my Twitter bookmarks and just show me, surface random 3 things that I saved, which I ended up never looking at.
I actually love when like it's a long time ago now, but like when Codex launched the Pulse feature,
Oh, Pulse,
I
yeah,
actually
yeah.
kind of love that.
Pulse is
Yeah.
amazing.
I just
I
told-
used it.
I just told like this is the kind of content I want, and then every day just by the way, I was like okay, any new startups in the video market that have raised money lately? Like I just found that like oh nice, this is great, this is exactly what I want to read about.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Very
for
interesting
that.
because I used Pulse. I downgraded from Pulse because for Pulse you need like $200 subscription, but
I think it's on the $20. It's one too, right?
no,
Or no?
no.
It's not okay.
I don't know. They were killing bunch of things. They killed Sora. Did they kill Pulse? I'm not sure if they killed Pulse.
It's still there.
It's still there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Any one of you have $200 subscription of ChatGPT?
This month I did it for a bunch of work.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have Pulse.
You have Pulse. Okay.
Yeah. And it does every day. Like, but
Yes.
the issue is like I think it's context switching. Like
Yes.
my day to day is mostly like sourcing new info,
Hmm.
and kind of I know what I need to iterate on. but so Pulse is kind of an overkill per se.
It's over-indexing on the past.
Yeah, exactly. So I think to Tony's point and your point, it's like if you can predict the future of what I would need, and then give that to me, because that's why I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter so I can source real-time stuff, which I don't know about today.
Yes.
That would be kind of interesting. And I think these guys are positioned like Grok.
Yeah, if Grok came with a pulse.
Yeah, exactly. Off your, because they have so much training data
Exactly.
off
They
your
got
profile.
real-time data.
In real time, exactly.
Real-time. That's it.
So that's the next thing, maybe. As
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
thinking out loud here. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Pulse is cool. I see the concept of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like further on. But yeah.
The more you think about it, the more you just think like, why is Grok not moving fast? Like, why is X not moving fast? Because they have all the right things going on for them. They have the space data centers. They come in. They have all the space in the space to build on the data centers. They have all the most relevant things as they're happening. It's very timely.
Right.
People are launching over here. It's like you have to look at X every single day now. Otherwise, you're missing out. You cannot be following a
100%.
podcast that releases like once a week.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not in SF, like this is the best thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's close enough nowadays. Like, you don't necessarily need to be in SF or
Yeah.
New York or anything,
Yeah.
because those people are posting on here anyway.
Right.
So
Right.
it's not, and so
It's very interesting. Like when you go to SF, you could be sucked into groupthink. You could be
Yes,
sucked into a
exactly.
small group of people
Right.
who you live close to or part of your routine,
right,
and they might talk about something cool,
right,
but they might be going in the wrong direction.
exactly.
Over here, you are getting the best of SF.
Yeah.
The best of the best is surfacing up.
100%. Yeah, and I mean, we're in Malaysia, and we're able to still think about this, talk about this, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We have the real-time information,
Right.
so it's also what you do with the information is actually what matters.
Exactly.
So
Build.
Biddle was
Biddle. Okay, what is next?
That's Signal. You're talking
This
about
is-
just
this is-
now.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
This is the
exactly.
guy.
Wait, is
Yeah.
Grok already hearing about this
Yeah,
and
I think
coding it
Grok-
up on the back end? It's like,
No,
Yeah.
this was part of my bookmark. So this was supposed to be coming next.
This is like a real-time social media.
Timeline is auto-generated while we talk.
Yeah.
That would be
That'd
insane,
cool.
right?
That'd be so cool.
All right, so you're gonna go comment on this guy's post.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's it now.
There you go.
NSTV,
Cool
as we
idea.
talk, it just keeps surfacing the relevant tweets.
Yeah.
Wow.
What are relevant to your conversation, what you're talking
That would
about.
be insane, right?
That'd be very cool.
Okay, that is it.
Build it.
Build it. That's it. Okay. I think this is the goal of NSTV. It's like we don't just want to talk, we also want to build, and this is the place where we come together, we talk, and then we come up with idea and then we build.
Right.
So it's like it's not just a talk show. In the time that we are not talking, we are building. Yeah.
No, but like honestly, I wish I had a the friend, the guy that just listens to you all the time. We've been talking about this many times, but like so many times we go for walks and just like talk about we just spar about like, whoa, should we take the product this way, that way? And if we just had an agent that just listened to all of that, I would love that. And then he could go and do research on it. You're out of a meeting. It's like, by the way, you were talking about this thing. I did some research. That was not true, but this thing is actually true. And I actually spin up like a little webpage, so like a little demo for that. I made it for you here. Oh, you were talking about this thing. I actually started on all of that things while you were talking. I would pay a lot for a device like that. Just connected to.
We have the hardware for that now. I think
Yeah,
that
we
there
do.
are companies.
They
doing
are,
that,
yeah.
But connecting that to all that Claude Code integration,
Yeah.
the existing thing, that's the.
That,
that's the
I would love
differentiation.
that. I would pay
So-
a lot.
I mean, we can buy it off of like one of those companies and just integrate it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This reminds me, Daniel. I have left OpenAI and Codex team to build Blackstar, a new hardware company building the future of human-computer interaction.
Is it?
I'm listening to you. I'm predicting. This is me. This is all me. We believe that software is solved. Building apps is now easy, but the next meaningful improvement in human AI communication requires changing the OS and hardware. That's why we are building a new device entirely. And they raised 12 mil.
Pretty good.
12 mil.
Looks a fancy edge of a device,
So
corner of a device.
it is basically what we're talking about in some form, maybe.
Right.
So human-computer interaction. I mean, he's basically saying a little companion, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Of some sort.
I'm actually curious if it means anything different. Like, what is
Right.
it thinking anything
From a
that we
UX
haven't thought about?
Yeah. Like, I mean, what are other UX form factor type thing? Like, could solve the same problem, right? Like, headphones can record. You can talk to your phone,
Yeah.
iPhone or whatever.
Ray-Ban has the
Yeah.
cameras on the
We have
spectacles.
Ray-Ban.
Right.
We
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
we had the Rabbit R1.
Rabbit, yeah.
Rabbit was a scam, right?
No.
There was one
It
that
was
was a
bad.
scam. There was
It
one
was
that
bad. It
there
wasn't a
was one that-
scam.
There was one that was
Yeah,
quite
I think
bad.
there's a difference between competence and scam. It's like, are you intentionally trying to do it versus you had good intention and you just didn't have the skills?
Right.
Was it a skill issue versus was it a
was it very good? Yeah, there was one
intention
that
issue?
sounded like a scam.
Well, the other one that raised a ton of money from former Apple.
Oh
team.
yes, the Apple team.
What was it called?
Humane.
Humane, yeah.
Yes.
That
yes,
one.
The pin.
Yeah, the pin, exactly. Then Friend.
That's exactly what he's
What
talking
you're
about.
So
Yeah.
Humane, Friend were early people
Friend.
in this.
You know Friend?
Yeah, I mean, they just by listening to TVPN a lot,
Yeah.
they keep talking. The founder comes on TVPN a lot.
Friend.com.
They were
Did you ever try it?
no, but they remember that they were talking about some of the moral issues. Like, can you just have it on all the time? What if you go in and you
Yeah.
talk to someone who doesn't have
Yeah.
allowed you
Exactly.
to record them?
Yeah.
Like,
Go on store.
That's the issue.
Yeah, yeah. This
But I
one.
guess it's the same issue.
Oh,
with
their
like
website.
Macs.
Look at their website. It's so cool. It's like, look at
Apple.
this.
It's so
Yeah, it's still
OS.
Apple.
Yeah, it looks like an Apple product.
It's like USB-C.
yeah, yeah.
It's like-
Oh. Okay.
yes,
So
Like the
they're like
X,
begging
uh,
Apple to buy them out right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
please
yeah,
buy
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
yes.
Okay, play. What are you doing? Play. What is happening? Okay.
So maybe it's not that good of a
some back
website.
end, front end, maybe.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
so it's the everything maybe.
Oh, too fast.
Okay, it's like
Whoa.
lagging.
Okay,
Skip
that's a
them.
nice website though.
Yeah.
That's
It's a really nice website.
It's a good idea about execution.
maybe market timing too,
But
as well. To
It's
that
not a
point,
tech problem, it's a privacy problem. It's a human problem.
Privacy, yeah.
moral
It's
problem.
tech, I think the tech we can record
Yeah.
things all day.
And
Right.
just
Twenty-four
send
seven.
it
China
and
is
then-
doing that, right?
Yeah.
It's about the people. It's about how do you handle that from a legal data privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
get
our
social-
phones are recording, so
No.
like, I mean, in a sense,
Not
right? like-
officially.
Not
Not
officially,
officially.
but basically
They
are,
deny
right?
it. They deny
They
it.
deny it, but like,
Okay.
let's
Yeah.
be real, right? We're gonna get an ad for whatever we talk
Right.
about. It's
Literally.
Like, literally, right?
Yeah.
So I think why is that bad, right? Like having a little thing pin versus all of our Androids and iPhones here recording without our consent per se,
Yeah.
right? So
I guess it's the same with, like, you know, if alcohol came out now as a new thing, they wouldn't be kind of, you know, as allowed as it is now. But when it becomes a part of the culture, like the
Right.
recording on the phone is basically a part of
culture.
culture already.
Mm.
But then if you need a new device, it's like, oh no, not something new, even though, you know, it's the same
Same
thing,
thing.
same thing.
So that's a good point. It's like a cultural stigma
Yeah.
issue. Because it's overt. Like, you see it. Literally, it's a pin.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what is that? Oh,
what's
you're recording
that?
me?
Yeah.
That's why you're
New.
recording me.
Yeah.
Versus, oh, my iPhone's like in my pocket.
Yeah.
Versus recording us too.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Like recently, a lot of people who are actually doing this with Ray-Ban
Yeah.
and a lot of TikTok,
yeah.
Twitter, or sorry, Instagram Reels and TikTok, they are
Reels,
coming
yeah,
out
100%.
where people know that you are wearing that Ray-Ban that records
Yeah.
and you are recording it. It's looking pretty good, but then people are reacting in a certain way because they know they're getting smarter. That okay,
Exactly.
yes, you're getting recorded.
Right. It's an interesting social experience.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so I mean, if
Yeah.
everyone has it.
Yeah, maybe you don't need that. Maybe you just, why don't you just use the iPhone?
Yeah.
There's an app that just records everything all the time and then talks to your phone. Why do you need a friend?
Right.
What, you have the iPhone.
Yeah, because these things are. I mean, what is Friend using? Probably OpenAI
Yeah.
or open source model. It's basically the same thing.
Exactly.
So if you're paying already, why don't you just
Exactly.
turn that button on? And,
Yeah. Did you guys try out any of these pins?
I have the Meta Ray-Bans.
You have the Meta Ray-Bans.
Yeah,
You're quiet.
pretty amazing.
Okay.
The audio quality is incredible.
Incredible, yeah. You know how they use the bone conduction?
it's insane, right?
Crazy.
Yeah. I
The
saw
first time I
Friend.
tried because Bose came out with it.
Oh yeah, Bose,
And
yeah,
that
yeah.
was amazing. It's like, wow, there's no speaker.
Yeah.
There's no speaker.
Yeah.
And then you realize that how actually our body works.
yeah.
Our ears are basically drums. It's searching for vibrations.
Yeah.
Probably healthier for you than AirPods as well.
Yes.
instead of
Correct.
getting
Yes.
You
in
can
there.
hear the traffic and stuff. So
Yeah.
when you're cycling, it's perfect.
Mm.
The only thing is the Bluetooth. Like if you're wearing it for a long time, like there's a bunch of studies coming out now
Hmm.
that like show the low dosage radiation coming from Bluetooth and even our iPhones. So
Hmm.
I try to put my stuff on
You can
airplane
feel
mode.
it the second
You
you
can,
put them on.
yeah,
Oh yeah. You
it's
can't
like
write.
it's frying your brain. If you do it like for 10 years, right? Like that's not a good thing.
I mean, that was the example. It was a Norwegian scientist that led that. I'm just gonna, give myself a lot of Bluetooth all the time, and then prove the fact that I'm not getting cancer, and then boom, cancer.
Cancer.
You got cancer?
Yeah. I never liked Bluetooth. I always
Yeah.
use cords and wires.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
never liked
I always use infrared.
wow. How about telepathy? It's okay.
Now, the only problem with the Meta array bands is that Jack doesn't have a face that shapes to them, so he looks a bit strange in the Meta array bands. Other than
Interesting.
that,
Interesting.
you know,
Like they look very massive.
yeah, he has too small of a head.
They just fall off as well.
Yeah.
That would make sense, yeah.
I think
Because
they
they
do
are-
sell different sizes, but I just didn't.
Yeah. They are very massive and chunky. So
Yeah.
for some people, it's like a fashion statement. Even like normal glasses, they like to wear it chunkier.
Mm.
So it's perfect. It works. But people with small faces and who don't work with that,
Right.
it looks very weird. Yeah,
Yeah, it is a big thing.
it's a big thing.
Cool.
Anyone?
Actually, I'm gonna head out. I have a meeting.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Alright,
Cool.
for your time.
All right.
Alright.
Thanks.
See you.
If anyone wants
Thanks,
to
Joey.
head out, totally fine.
All right.
What time is it?
It's closing to 5 or 3.
It's 4:52.
I can go till before dinner. Yeah. I mean, like,
All right.
just keep yapping.
Keep yapping.
Keep yapping. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Cheers, man.
Let's go.
All right, guys.
All right.
Take
All right.
care, man.
Take
Good
care.
chat.
Thank you.
We'll chat more.
All right.
We have Raj.
Continue yapping on.
We have exclusive
Stuff.
Raj. All right. Let's see.
Also, this office is like super nice.
It's super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my laptop is gonna die. It has 8% battery.
Goodbye,
So
chat.
that's our
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
chat.
It's charging, but it's like I think because it's double. What do we say?
Yeah.
It's double dosing.
What if the timer's just like with the battery, right? If you want to just like shut off the stream
We can go 20 more minutes, I think.
and just get dinner. It's like 4:53.
Yes.
So yeah, 100%. I'm done.
Perfect. All right. Let's see. So yesterday we were looking into. I think last time we were having this conversation around defense.
Oh, yeah.
Any thoughts on the Palantir's Technological Republic? I don't know if you are aware of this.
I read it. Yeah, I read the
Yes.
tweet. I have a lot of thoughts on it. I think I would start with in context of like 2026 where we are in the world, and I think there's always going to be these competing philosophies, but I think the reality of the matter, or the irony maybe of life, is that there's this horseshoe theory, right?
Yeah.
Where like, let's say for whatever on the political spectrum you're on the right, but in order to do your thing that you want to do, you eventually come all the full circle and then get to the same place,
Okay.
or go to the opposite side, right?
Right.
And what I mean by that is Palantir as a company is built on understanding linearities in the world and then figuring out how to operationalize that. I mean, military is the easiest example, right? It's being used right now with the U.S. military. Initially, they would have like, at least that's what I read. It was like, oh, we used to have like a team of 300 really smart military strategists and operators operating logistics, because it's a huge operational thing, right?
Yeah.
Getting all your entire forces across the world, and then actually do the missions, and now they're able to do it with like, let's say 10 people with the software, right?
Yeah.
However, the more we adopt AI and the more we do all this, every democratic government is going to start to look like, once you take the labels off, like the CCP.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of already are.
Yeah.
It's just like it's branded differently,
Yeah.
and you know, the actors are different.
Yeah.
In the West, we have the big tech, which are listening to our conversations, and we're okay with that because we're getting value out of that at some point, right? In maybe the East, specifically China, it's like the government's doing that so that they have a civil society and a high functioning society, right?
Yeah.
So I think the question is like, is one system better or not? And I think where this philosophical like construct that these guys they have, like with the book and everything, I think it leans too much towards the West being the right thing, right? Now, if you want to be the West and you want to be independent and do your thing, like that's totally fine. But I think we've found out in the last 30, 40 years, you can't just impose democracy by bombing people.
Yeah.
It's never going to work, and it never has worked, right?
Yeah.
And so, long story short, I think with AI, is a democracy even makes sense? Should we go back to benevolent? Is it something I'm thinking
Benevolent
about?
dictator.
Exactly,
Yeah.
benevolent dictatorships, because that's what companies are.
That's right.
Tech companies are benevolent as
Will you guys have an
dictatorships.
event here?
No.
It's supposed to be a silent call.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm one of the stewards. Curious.
Okay, sorry. Would you like us to stop?
I'm fine, but if there's somebody else working, that's
We
kind of
asked him.
okay, fair. Like, I don't know. It's only.
Let's see
Sorry,
where we're-
go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, just to kind of finish the circle, full circle. I think there's a lot of ironies. I think the U.S. understands this pretty well, like where the U.S. is headed, and because the U.S. is very smart. They have a lot of competent people, just like the British Empire did. But who knows what the force of history is? And I think like it makes sense for Palantir because they're a defense contractor, right? To at least wrap their business strategy in a higher level philosophical strategy. For me, I think like personally speaking, in a world where AI is so omnipotent that it's almost godlike, which already kind of is, we keep talking about AGI, but we already have AGI in our pockets. Like
Yes.
if you were to go back in time 3 years ago to who you were 3 years ago, and you're like, okay, well, is this thing that's living in my pocket, like, is it AGI? You would basically say yes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
The
I think
Turing test has
that's
been,
right.
what do we say?
just shattered
Yes,
or whatever.
shattered. Yes.
And so I think if you have omnipotent AI, you can literally have any governance system put up, and then having an authoritarian based system is much easier. But if you have a benevolent one, that is, I'd say, better and more palatable for most people. I think most people just want to have a decent life, right? Have family and go on. They don't really care about all the geopolitics and all this stuff. It's probably just like us tech nerds that like kind of get into it and see it. But I mean, long story short, Palantir, this is very interesting philosophically, but I think it's just one side of the story in history, I think.
Yeah.
And it is a good side as well, depending on the way you look at it. But appreciating the other side, I think, is also missing because there's a bias, inherent bias.
That makes sense.
Because 80% of their business is
That
based
makes
on
sense.
contracts. So.
This sounds very similar to, we were actually talking about this, but this sounds very similar to what Anthropic's doing in Mythos. It's like you create the fear,
Right.
which kind of aligns people,
Exactly.
which helps you then sell the solution.
That's right. 100%. It's I think some people are talking about it as a marketing thing, right? To your point. And there's some truth to the marketing stunt perspective, and then there's probably also some truth that he's probably right.
Yeah.
In terms of the amount of disruption in the way we are employed and the social contract of employment in the American dream per se, or whatever version of it around the world, that's getting disrupted as we
Right.
speak, right?
Right.
Like every single day you have more and more layoffs, right?
Right.
Like was Oracle laid off 30,000 or
Okay.
something recently? You can correct me on that, but this is going to happen more and more as these tech companies, they want to put free cash flow and then increase their free cash flow to put into data centers and AI.
I like when you say that. You can correct me on that because it's
Yeah.
very interesting. The biggest feedback for MTS was that there was no sort of live factual fact checking, live fact checking going on, because that's what you do. Yeah,
that would be really cool if we had like an app or whatever.
Exactly. It's like
during the
I can
stream.
do that right now,
Yeah.
but that would be like taking off from the flow.
Exactly.
That would be cutting the flow over
100%.
here. So that's the reason I'm not doing it unless it's very relevant. Like when you said about OpenAI and Accenture, I want to check that out. When somebody says that, hey, what's the user base of Cursor?
Right.
So one interesting thing to do is that, okay, estimate based on everything that you estimate, pick up a guess, I come up with a guess, and then we check.
And then we check.
It makes it much more interesting rather than coming
I
from
agree.
like combating you, trying every time
Yeah.
you say something, I'm like, no, that's wrong,
Exactly.
that's wrong. That cuts the flow.
100% agree with that. Yeah, I mean, especially for like this conversational experience,
Right.
like, 100% agree.
Yeah.
And I think facts, like, I mean, I always forget some like exactly the right details, but I remember like overall ideas in a
Exactly.
conversation, right?
Exactly.
Versus when you're typing, you're like, oh, okay, it was exactly this thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Again, balance. On one extreme,
That's
you
right.
have just narrative.
Right.
On the other extreme, you just have facts or
Right.
numbers. Facts is also hard to say because what is a fact? So you have numbers versus narrative.
That's
and
right.
the answer is the middle, where the
Right.
number and the narrative helps you tell a good story. That
Exactly.
convinces people, that influences people.
No,
Yeah.
I like that approach as well. So, I mean, to kind of turn it on you as well. Like, what do you feel about this? Like, how do you this like the manifesto thing from Palantir? Like,
No, it's very interesting. It's like, we were having, like, there are two ways to think about it.
Mhm.
One way to think about is like Jensen Huang and Dwarkesh podcast,
yeah,
where he said that why are you selling your chips to China when we created this thing called Mythos, which can find 0-day vulnerabilities into all the important infrastructure. By you selling chips to China, you are giving them the capability to build something like Mythos and then attack American infrastructure. So Jensen's argument is that I don't agree with that premise because you are creating them an adversary. What ideally you want is you want to give them the resources, you want to have a conversation going with the Chinese researchers, so they don't do that. You kind of build a good relationship, you kind of build a diplomatic relationship with them so they don't do that, because they are smart people. If they really want to do it, they will do it.
They'll do it,
So you create a diplomacy over there. So that was the idea. So over here, again, Palantir, it's like on one end, you can see this as creating a narrative to align on, because that's the goal, right? The first statement is Silicon Valley owes a moral debt to the country that made its rise possible. So the very first statement is aligning all the American tech companies towards a goal. Which could be both good and bad. On one way, it's good because it's giving everybody a vision that, okay, what are we working towards? Because otherwise, tech companies can go into a nihilistic view that what is the meaning
What's
of
the meaning
this?
of this?
And like, why are we doing this if it's gonna end the world, whatever, right? So you're kind of giving people a meaning, but then that meaning is kind of creating an adversary of out of China, and that is a weird game. So both good and bad. Everything has pros and cons,
I like what you said about the meaning, creating an adversary. That's kind of interesting because I think we may, I mean, as every empire or any competitor, when there's a market leader and there's a competitor coming in, you have to create a narrative and meaning around why you want to even compete against the other one. Like vice versa, right? Number one needs to outcompete number two and continue to do that. Number two is like, I need to outcompete number one. And so I guess the question here is like, how much of it can be aligned in 2026 going forward if we already know these tech companies are competing with themselves too at the same time, if that makes sense. So
say that again.
On one part of the dimension, you have like the tech companies competing with themselves already. So how do you align them to compete against another adversary per se, like altogether, like for America, as like in this context, right?
This is so interesting. I'll give you first like the one meta thing that I was just thinking about. So Balaji has this one recommended reading. It's called The Frontier of the American Society, which talks about this entire story of like how when the European settlers came to the east of America and how when they kept on pushing into the free land, kept pushing into the west, it self-selected for a certain quality of people who were self-reliant, who were pragmatic, who were egalitarian. And it's self-selected for these people because if you don't have that, if you are not self-reliant, if you're not pragmatic, if you are not egalitarian, then you will just die. You will just die. You won't be able to form a society. And then having a frontier that you kept pushing into, which was kind of an unknown land, that kind of created certain heroes, certain qualities, and that kind of came back into the society and helped the society improve, kind of helped nourish the society constantly. The moment we got the frontier and the moment we announced that there is no more frontier because we have reached the West Coast, we have reached California, now humans had to, if they had to keep reviving the culture, keep reviving the society, they had to find a new frontier. So now they go up and they go down. So now they go up in the space and they go down in the ocean. So it's like humans constantly need a frontier. And it's very interesting. It's like, so it's the same thing over here, that you constantly need frontier, otherwise infighting will start.
I 100% agree with that. I think like people, even with UBI per se or whatever the concept of that is, like you still need something to do and some meaning. Regardless, you know, if you're already like, Elon Musk, he continues more and more companies, starting new things. And that's like the extreme end of the spectrum. But like even, my grandma, like she needs something to do. For example, she's retired, like kids, everything. Like, but she has to have something to do and have meaning on, right? Whether it's reading like the religious text as an example, right? And I mean, we're both Gujaratis, so it's like, your family probably is similar in whatever, they're at that age, right?
It's really cool you mentioned that. My grandma solves crossword puzzles every single day in the newspaper. It's like, dude, you need the mental stimulation.
100%. Right now, like my grandma, she's like relearning arithmetic and math and all that, like, you know, just basic stuff, like
Really
just
cool.
writing it down, and
Really cool.
I mean, she knows how to do
Yeah,
math, but
yeah.
like it's
Keep
like
your brain
keeps
sharp.
your brain sharp. Yeah, like
Yes.
Sudoku puzzles, like you said,
Yes.
and crossword.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, 100%. But beyond that, there has to be higher level meaning, and I think a lot of, as just to continue the example, it's like most people want to have just a decent family and all that, and you know, there's like this arc of, you know, life phases.
Yeah.
Like Dalio talks about that, like, you know, where it's like in your 20s you do this, your 30s you do this, 40s
Yeah.
you do this, and maybe if we bring it back to what Palantir maybe is alluding to in the geopolitical landscape is, America has matured, or the West has matured. They've figured out and built a base of technology, lifted tons of people out of poverty. And you can argue that oh yeah, we created so much debt, but like money's a belief system. It doesn't really matter, right? At the end of the day, as long as your basic needs are met, right? Everything above that's upside. And so, with AI, like, we are kind of inching towards a post-scarcity society where we may have a meaning crisis, and maybe spirituality comes back. It's something I'm personally thinking about. Like, how does that, in context, rewire the way society is? Because if material things are solved, right? Like, if robotics comes in the next 5 to 10 years, it's already happening in China, which is, you know, the West is basically just like 5-10 years behind it, of adoption-wise. So the question is, what is everyone going to do? I think, and I think the tech companies can philosophize, because at the end of the day, they also have businesses to run.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know, you know, what is like the North Star after we solve ASI or AGI, whatever the meaning of that is, right? Like, what is next? I don't know. But I think that's what, like, my mind continues to go through that, like,
Makes sense.
With all the development that's happening at the pace of it too. I'm like, well, that rewires the underlying assumptions of capitalism too. Like, capital is about some trading of labor and value. But we're redefining value
Yeah.
in real time,
Right.
right? That's what software did. It
Right.
redefined labor, like knowledge labor, automated it, you know, shrunk the cost of it, deflated it, and then now you sell it in a higher, you know, with higher margins.
Yeah.
AI is doing that for literally every knowledge work.
Yeah. That makes sense. It was built on the foundation that labor is scarce.
Yes, yeah, and it's not anymore.
It's
right?
not anymore.
It's like literally 24/7, like, operates, and so maybe humans need a better, idea of meaning. You know.
This is where we have Nietzsche come in.
Yeah.
God is dead. You have to
God is
create your
dead,
own
yeah.
values, and
That's
let's
right.
go. Yeah, be a Ubermensch.
That's
Yeah.
right, and maybe that's to connect to your earlier point about frontiers, right? Maybe this network state thing is part of this
Yes.
story of narrative of frontiers. I mean, that's kind of like one of the reasons we're probably here, right? Like, a lot of us.
This is
Like,
it.
what is the next frontier?
Yeah.
Okay, Silicon Valley was, you know, New York to some extent for finance. You know,
Yeah.
you have other, like, London, all these hubs, right,
Yeah.
around the world. What's next?
Yeah.
Shenzhen's there for robotics and hardware, and
Yeah.
China obviously is a big frontier in and of itself. But if you're coming from the West, what is that frontier for you
Right.
beyond, you know, what we already have?
Right.
So
Right.
it is really interesting, maybe, like the agency, the frontier mindset, coming here, per se,
Exactly.
out of all places.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very interesting. Last night I was looking into Star Wars. There's this video called "Everything Is a Remix."
Interesting.
Have you
No, I
found
haven't
it?
seen it.
So "Everything Is a Remix" is pretty cool, and
Uh-huh.
it breaks down every single major thing that you thought was original, and breaks it down into how it still has stole some certain concepts from certain things.
Yeah.
So it talks about Star Wars and how Star Wars is basically designed on this one guy, Joseph Campbell, who is kind of a philosopher, and he had this monomyths. He wrote a lot of books, and he was writing about let's say the arc, the story arc, kind of like the hero's journey. And it starts with this idea of call to adventure, or call for adventure. And Star Wars is all about that.
Right.
Star Wars is all about this call for adventure, that you already have everything that you want. And now something inside you, that soul is like, I want more.
Right.
I want to challenge myself. I want to put myself into an uncertain situation and see how do I react, and kind of, just engage with reality rather than just being comfortable and, what's the word? Hedonistic? I don't know if hedonistic is hedonistic is a word that you can use over here, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I see that. It's it is, Star Wars is very interesting, and then maybe Star Trek as well. Like, to that point, it's like, if everything's solved, like, what do you do afterwards, right?
Yeah.
I think in Star Trek it's more like, oh, let's go free the
Right.
rest of the beings, like aliens or whatever, or something like that. Bring peace to the galaxy or something.
Right.
And in Star Wars, I think maybe you have both. You have peace and war at the same time, which is kind of interesting. Maybe so. Basically, we're gonna go to space.
Exactly.
We're gonna
Exactly.
immigrate to Mars, right?
Exactly. It's up or down ocean.
Yeah.
I'm surprised like we don't talk a lot about ocean, but you know this
Yeah.
one startup called Ulysses.
Alexis, okay.
I don't know how
That's
to
interesting.
say that name, but
Yeah.
they are basically
Ulysses or
yes,
Ulysses. Oh, okay. It's like, what is it? Is it a Greek?
Yes,
It's a Greek god, right? Or
I
no?
think so.
Or
Ancient wanderer, Latin name,
that name. Okay. Oh, the legendary
Greek
Greek hero
hero.
of the Odyssey. Yeah.
Odyssey.
Okay, that-
Yes, yes. Find me the ocean startup named after this. Yes, the ocean startup. Think of them as SpaceX, but for the ocean floor. They build autonomous underwater robots and surface vehicles. These robots can plant seagrass, repair underwater infrastructure, monitor oceans for security plus research. Oceans are massively underexplored.
They are, yeah. I mean, that's interesting.
Yeah, so this is what we are interested in now, right? Like it's like, okay, what are the frontiers?
Yeah.
Ocean is a big frontier.
100%, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was some proposals back like 10 years ago. I think Peter Thiel had one, or some other Singularity University people had, I think. Some Bay Area types, basically. Like, they were talking about, like, making cities in the ocean.
Sea stunning.
Exactly, the modern version of that.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is, but oil rigs are basically that.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So it's not crazy.
There's a new startup called, and Balaji tweeted that right over here. Sea
really?
stunning is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. The startup is called Panthalassa.
Huh.
So what this is massive floating data centers that drive themselves out to the sea and then capture water inside them to spin a turbine and power GPUs.
Interesting.
And this is how it looks like.
I think it's like, yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
they're actually, it's like outside of the Netherlands, they have another, like, I think in the English Channel, like it's a quite common thing of like having these energy generation devices where they're like what is it? It's like a pulley system almost.
Yes.
I think, and you generate energy that way from the ocean waves. So this makes sense.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
you can even put maybe floating solar panels. Probably not enough energy density, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, why not try?
Right.
Because I know Microsoft has put data centers in the ocean too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I think the big problems over there is the maintenance, right? Because
Yeah.
you are sending these out, and now if something goes wrong, you have to
Right.
kind of go on a hunt
Exactly.
to find these things. Where are you at right now? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, data centers on land, much easier.
Much easier, 100%.
Much easier to operate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then in space, it's even crazier
yeah,
than the ocean thing.
yeah. Are you keeping up to date with the space data centers?
Yeah. So the VC firm that I work with as a partner at, we invested in a data center space company.
Okay.
Like I think last year sometime. So it is a very interesting. There's engineering issues, obviously. Like that's the biggest thing, right? Radiation, heat pumping out, from these data, modules. Radiation hardening issues, data transmission issues, depending on the bandwidth and all these different things. But long story short, I think the thing is, Elon Musk has always been, as cliche as it is, like every time he just focuses on some market, there's just talent comes, they just figure everything out.
Yeah.
Right? Even if it sounds crazy, even if the
Yeah.
experts say it's not true or whatever, they just figure it out. And I think that's the beauty of all this. It's like, it makes sense. On land, it's like the same thing with nuclear, right? Nuclear in the U.S., $10 billion per thing, and you don't even know if it's 10 billion because it's going to be cost overruns. So it could even end up being 20 or 30, and it's so expensive to maintain.
I'm really
and
surprised
all
Elon
that.
doesn't talk about nuclear.
Yeah, because it's so expensive because of the human reasons, the
Okay.
political regulatory reasons.
Okay.
So I was a nuclear engineer back in the day, like
Okay.
10 years ago, and
Yes.
there were no nuclear engineering jobs besides government nuclear work, right? Which is like more research oriented. But yeah, long story short, I think nuclear is kind of coming back, but it's mostly like small modular. But the go to market is so complicated, and it's years out. You know, and then fusion is even more years out, realistically speaking, because there's so many engineering issues you have to solve before you even solve the science and scale the science up. So data centers is similar to that, but I think what data center has is it has actually a value prop that's in the billions, in the TAM, that's going to continue to be bigger and bigger. So if you can make it work, then I think it can be done very easily. And it subsidizes SpaceX's business lines. And they already have one quasi-information technology business, which is Starlink, which is like insane.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, you're never going to be able to make it work. You're not going to get to 100 megabytes per second or whatever, right? And now they're talking about cell phones having this stuff, right? And then your iPhone connecting to the Starlink. Insane.
Crazy.
In a couple years, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't bet against Elon.
That's right.
Basically.
That's right.
So,
And it's very interesting. Like Jensen Huang, I think in the last GDX, he already announced that how they are supporting the infrastructure of space data centers.
That's right.
So people are like, okay, Elon is going to do this.
Yeah.
So let's start building the supporting infrastructure for it.
That's right.
And yeah, let's make it a business. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, 100%.
Very interesting. Did you get any interesting insights from the Jensen Huang and Dwarkesh podcast?
I actually haven't listened to the whole thing,
Okay.
but I did read that little quote that you mentioned, which is really interesting about like, letting China have the chips today. I think, as I've kept up with the semiconductor industry, and having some experience in hardware like in the past, it's like you cannot compete with the Chinese supply chain today on cost. They have the cheapest cost and the biggest scale. And what the sanctions did from the West is it did the counterintuitive thing, which is it made Chinese domestic supply chain even stronger than it was. At that time, it wasn't really that well coordinated domestically. But this threat from the West, ironically, made it stronger because the Chinese government in 2021, when Alibaba stock was like ripping, and Jack Ma was like talking to heads of state, everyone, like he was like the it person, right? At that time, they were smart enough to see we don't want all this software money going into unlimited upside, right? We need to cap that, put that software money into real things like manufacturing, and own the manufacturing.
Okay.
Basically.
Interesting.
So that was like their 5-year plan in 2020, 2021, and now 5 years later in 2026, they have their highest exporter EVs. They're out competing Volkswagen. They have the most amount of solar panel exports. Line by line, if we just go down, we can find all the data. You know.
Yeah.
And this is like published data by the U.S. government. Think tanks, everyone, right? So long story short, I think the semiconductor side of things, China is already at the point where they can manufacture half as good GPUs today. Even at 50% yield, it doesn't matter because if it costs 50% less, you can just have 2x the capacity, right? So instead of a million GPUs from NVIDIA today, you have your 50% performance GPUs, but 2 million or 4 million of them.
Right.
If you can ramp up the capacity, right?
Right.
Which they probably are going to do in the next year or two.
Yeah.
And that's the advantage they'll have. The most cheapest cost per compute in the world. Because Elon Musk's XAI in Memphis, Tennessee, that thing has like solar panels, the Tesla solar, plus the Tesla batteries, powering the whole thing with natural gas for like the immediate needs. It rotates the natural gas turbines. And so energy solved. And so Elon Musk in the US, he's the best person to go to if you want
It's
all
crazy.
the GPUs,
It's
right?
reliant on his supply chain.
His supply chain,
Yeah.
exactly. And all his companies, right, come together. The Chinese equivalent is like basically most of all the Chinese
Everything,
companies. Everything, yeah. So it's like, who is going to have like the cheapest cost per compute? It's basically China. Because they already have hundreds of nuclear reactors. Solar's super cheap because they domestically make it. All the materials and chemicals that go in, they own 80% of the supply chain for rare earths as well as commodities. So it's going to be hard to compete, which is why you see all the tech companies in the West scrambling and saying, we need to do this now. Because capital is cheap in the West, right? Companies like Figure are valued at 40 billion. The equivalent of that is like valued at 1 billion in China, right? Because the markets are capped in China.
Interesting.
The speculation is capped.
Okay.
And so
how is this speculation capped?
The way I would think about it is they have it's capped by the nature of the capital markets, I believe. And like I'm not the most foremost expert, but what I've been studying about it and realizing is that the way it's capped is like they have incentive systems for the capital flow. So in the 1990s, 2000s to 2010s, it was real estate. Like put money into real estate, right? Right now, the money is being put into manufacturing and all that. But they're going through a bear market in a semi-recession. Unemployment rate is insane there right now for young people.
Right.
As AI gets ramped up.
Right. Right.
And factories are getting automated, right? And so you have all this the social sort of unrest happening, and so the capital, but the government is saying you have to invest in the factories and all that stuff. But you also have factories going out of business. Because in China, we talk about NIO and BYD, but there's like hundreds of these car makers.
Yes.
And their suppliers are just hundreds of them, thousands of them, right? All competing with each other. So the speculation is not as much because people are saving, and the investors, they're investing into hard assets like these factories. So you're not able to speculate on the secondary markets like in the US, right? Where you can raise a $400 million fund, and I know people that are doing have done this, and they put money into like Figure and other companies at their series D, and then they exit at series AG or whatever the arbitrage is. So the speculation is much higher in the US because capital is flowing into the US markets.
Right.
Because of the US currency being a reserve currency. So like literally there's no other option. You wouldn't put it in China because the Chinese stocks are not going up, right? And so there's not much speculation happening, and plus they're not printing as much money that goes into the capital markets, right? Right now in the US, every time we print money, like hedge funds can get levered up and then buy stocks. Other people can take margin loans to buy more stocks because that's the only thing that's going to go up. And so that trade, the psychology, helps innovation for sure, but also creates a bubble where in the US our companies, or I would call them, you can argue they're overvalued, for the equivalent company in China or Japan, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's good for us. It's good for an American or like a North American, like European, right? But eventually that money is going to go somewhere else as well as the tide turns. As market share starts to erode, right, from the traditional companies like NVIDIA even, right? Because NVIDIA, they know. I mean, Jensen, he's at the peak of his career, and maybe in the next couple of decades. And I'm not saying NVIDIA is not going to continue going up. It could, but GPU technology, the next phases of the technology is like the startups working on neuromorphic computing, and NVIDIA has a stake in all that too. But basically, it's like the compute game now is going to be commoditized. Like with the West, the chips were like high margin things, or like higher margin than commodities. You have the AI models getting commoditized by China. You have then now the chips and chips manufacturing about to get commoditized by China. Cars are already like Ford and GM cannot compete. In the world. So like all this is happening at the same time as like we're basically drinking from a fire hose, like with all the AI stuff happening. So it's kind of complicated, but I think I think China should get a little bit more credit on what they're doing and achieving at the speed.
This is very interesting because the idea that you mentioned that for the same company the equivalent of China is not valued at the same level. And this might show up. So recently we were looking at one of the GDP comparison chart between US and China, and China seems to flatline. So then you are kind of looking over here that, okay, there's a difference between the ground reality in China versus how this number is calculated, the equation being used to calculate this number.
100%. One of the examples I always think about is like purchasing power parity. Like how much does your unit of currency get you? What kind of life? Like let's say for a city, we're paying like $1,500-ish, something like that a month for food, home, our accommodations, other stuff, events and stuff, community. The equivalent of this lifestyle in San Francisco or New York with these people that you meet, which is, you go to SF in New York for the people, right? I don't know, you probably had to pay like $3K, $4K, like Toronto probably, easy, Vancouver, right? Like let's call
3K might just be your condo.
Exactly. So that's like your condo's $3K, food is like a couple K, right? If you're eating out and whatever.
Safe side,
conservative. Safe side, Chipotle, whatever, every day.
Chipotle,
and then your activities and stuff like that, right? So you're adding up, basically you're talking about like a 10K expense.
And then you also add the fact that over here there's a high density in a small footprint.
Exactly.
Over there you have to expend more energy to find these right spots.
100%.
And travel over there all the time,
Exactly. Like we got to take on, in New York City, you take the train, you miss it, okay, you got to get on another one. I mean, there's train, which is amazing, and it's highly dense. And probably New York City and SF, like SF proper, and maybe Toronto, like parts of it, the dense parts like are like, they have the magic. of like what we're going through right now, of like just being able to hop on this NSTV, like because we're right here, serendipitous conversations about stuff, right?
Exactly.
So that magic is hard to recreate for the same cost.
Yeah.
So I mean, which reflects into to your question is like, the purchasing power parity, China's GDP, India's GDP, Brazil even as well, like from a purchasing power parity standpoint, which takes into account like for your currency, what's the quality of life and how much stuff can you buy, right? How much steel can you buy? Oil, it's much higher because they're not as financialized. Which is why the other point is to fill in the gap is because China's not as financialized as the West is, specifically the U.S. The valuations of companies are lower, right? Because their capital is not chasing new things, and so it's kind of a feature and a bug of the U.S. economy that it's financialized because it had to be. It had to export debt for a long time to make the world, in a peaceful state after World War II, and someone had to do it, and then it was the best actually person was the U.S. to do it at that time. But now it's like we have to continue printing money even if we don't want to, because there's another layer of shadow debt, which is highly complicated. Like I don't think anyone understands it where exactly the tentacles go, but the people that do understand it know that eventually it has to come due, right? So it's a matter of like right now off to the races about who can solve the physical world fast enough before AI can also automate a bunch of stuff. So that's why you have robotics on one side, and then you have pure AI, which US is still leading, and the West is leading, but real like physical world AI, China's catching up very fast. Which is in a sense it's kind of good because like now you have some competition and some in the markets, right? So you can kind of see how it's motivating a lot of people. Like the US, I just saw this tweet yesterday or today. It was showing a graph of North American manufacturing going up during the Biden administration because of the $2 trillion bill, and during the Trump administration because of all the stuff that's happening in the defense budget being increased, and people bringing manufacturing to the U.S. So as an example that may be relevant for the audience is like data centers need power transformers for basically having the right amount of voltage and transforming power that's usable electricity for these data centers, and it's a really complicated technology. Not too many companies work on this stuff because our grid hasn't changed in North America in a while. Now just recently there's been a lot of US startups now coming to say, okay, we're going to do it, which is amazing, and that wouldn't have happened if we didn't have data center and AI and all this. There's a lot of like cross innovation happening in the US that hadn't happened for a long time, and now the companies are saying, oh, we're going to build a factory in the US, right? And then we get tax cuts and all that, and states are competing for that. Like states like North Carolina is competing, Texas is competing. Texas is one of the biggest beneficiaries right now, actually, of the manufacturing boom.
Because they had kind of set the foundation.
Exactly, and oil and gas. So Texas, Houston specifically, I grew up in Houston, is like the Silicon Valley of oil and gas. If you're in oil and gas, your Silicon Valley is Houston. Banking, private capital, project capital to build these oil rigs and all that, and drill. The talent, 20% of all the chemical engineers you need are in Houston. Cost of living is quite low. All the infrastructure, the whole supply chain is there. So turning raw metal into an oil rig is complicated. In the ocean in Gulf of Mexico, right? And then even all these Exxons of the world, they operate in Russia and Middle East. So all the tech comes from the U.S. For oil and gas, even in many parts of China. And so like that base is there, and now I think Tesla's there for a reason. Right. Now they're refining lithium, they have their own lithium plant, which is insane. Like that means that like they can turn raw ores and process them, and then refine enough to then put it into the battery manufacturing, and then turn that into batteries for the cars and the utility storage. So it's like the whole flywheel. Like so if you look at Musk, you're like, okay, if he chose Texas, there's probably a reason. So other companies are seeing that. Other states are competing for that too, and I think it's a good thing for the U.S. as well. Like it's kind of like getting out of your sleep. You're just like chilling on a beach, drinking your cocktail, your tequila, margaritas, and now you're like, oh shit, like I gotta go, I gotta compete now. So I think that's kind of where the U.S. is going through, but China's formidable, I think.
No, totally. Texas is kind of becoming the hub to go to the frontier. So it's like
Yeah.
they already created Starbase, which is kind of
Exactly.
it was a city built out of nothing, right?
Yeah,
There was no
it-
city over there.
yeah,
It was just this base.
It's just a base, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a bunch of island, like small little
Yeah.
marsh islands.
That's also very interesting to see, like, what can we learn from Starbase as a network
100%.
state node?
That's a very
Because,
interesting one.
Again, like very highly densely populated with just engineers and
Yeah.
their families.
Exactly.
And ideally, son of like kids of an engineer, a very
Right.
smart engineer, he would kind of like they would kind of train them to be an engineer.
Yeah, 100%. It's interesting about that. There's a movie. I don't know if you saw it, Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a
Oh
scene.
yeah, they created a new
They
city.
created a new
Yeah.
city, right? And they
Yeah.
had their wives and
Los
family
Alamos.
come in,
Yeah.
right? And like it was so that Los Alamos today, if you go,
Yeah.
I went a couple years ago, and I worked with this,
Really cool.
like in a former life, I worked with a lot of researchers there. They have the highest density of scientists, like
Okay.
per capita, because it's
Right.
like in that small area.
Right.
Because everyone's like basically PhD scientists, like
Right.
working on nuclear for like, and their father worked on it. Like they have that lineage per se. So it was a frontier city, like literally. And then the closest city is Albuquerque, like, which is a bigger city. But the whole reason that city exists is because of that scene in that movie where like he's like overlooking the hills and mountains, and he's like, this is where it's gonna be at, which is crazy. Like, and so the frontier, like maybe here, this is it. I mean, if who knows what the next generation, like the families that come here, right?
Yeah. It's so cool. Like this reminds me, like literally, they were like, "How fast can we build the city?" It was just
Yeah.
pure land. Over
Pure
here,
land, yeah.
still, we had like an island. We had operating apartments. We had like
Yeah.
a hotel that's being serviced. We
Exactly.
had water, electricity, everything figured out, and we just had to like invite people.
That's right.
Over there, everything was built from
Everyone
ground
was
up.
zero, yeah.
In like 1980s.
Yeah, it's like I think during World War II, it's like 40s,
40s, 50s, yeah.
yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is the best way, like turnkey. Like we don't have to worry as like, attendees or whatever, citizens of NS or whatever. But NS also like, it's quite strategic that like, wow, distressed asset, like we move in, we create the demand,
Exactly.
right? And then actually build it out in this already built city.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably more of those types of things out there in the world.
Totally. Any other interesting network state experiments that you were curious about? Because there are
Yeah.
many, and there are also pop-ups
That's
around
right.
the world.
I studied Prospera. I think it's a really cool one. Which is quite popular probably with this crowd.
Yeah.
I worked with a team on this small little event for biotech stuff. And very smart people. I think that's going to be in North America. I think that's like a very high potential one for sure. I think they're building out infrastructure,
Yeah.
building out the buildings, and there's like brand new buildings, and they want to make it like a biotech hub. I personally worked on an idea just to scope it out as like would it be like a VC idea, but I think there's high potential on like that place being the second hub for biotech next to like Boston, Raleigh, North Carolina in the U.S., and then San Diego and LA and SF, for biotech.
Right.
Because they have these laws which are really cool, and there's like a couple startups that already did this, like, and I think Brian Johnson went and got gene therapy, myostatin therapy.
Yeah.
Long story short, they have these laws where you can do preclinical trials. So like if you invented a drug, like you can be like, okay, in the U.S. or probably even Canada and in Europe, it's like it's gonna take you a while to get a meeting. It's gonna cost you a lot of money to just do the trials on 5 people,
Yeah.
just to see if like is there anything here, right?
Yeah.
Promising about this. So in Prospera, you can literally do that within a couple weeks to months with like tens of K versus millions
Yeah.
or hundreds of K. So way faster, way cheaper, and their model is like it at that time when I was working on that, like with them, is like it was insured. Like so they solved the insurance problem by like outsourcing it to Lloyd's or some other insurer who underwrites the insurance for those patients and says, all right, as an example, maybe like each patient insurance is like 100K max or something. If something goes wrong, this is how much you got to pay for the insurance, right? So I think that's an interesting model because right now it's more just like regulations. It's like FDA says no,
Yeah.
you cannot do it in 3 months because we
Right.
said so.
Right.
Because of all these other things that happened in the past, so we don't want that to happen again.
Right. Right.
But it stifles innovation.
Yeah.
Right. When things are moving at AI speeds. In China, not to keep talking about China, but I've been researching it, so it's like really interesting to connect some of the dots here. In China, like, you can do this in a couple days. Like, as in, if you invent a drug, some of the researchers in China are like inventing drugs, going from the petri dish all the way to scaling up in injection-based capacities, and then trialing in patients in a couple of days to weeks. And then they have a hospital system, a huge patient population, huge amount of data that can cross-correlate, right, to find any anomalies or risks. And then they can get a drug out very fast. And you see that right now. There was a report by this Boston-based, I think they're kind of like a investment firm and research firm. And
Citrini?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Maybe Citrini could cover biotech because I think it's the next narrative to go pop off in the markets. And but yeah, these guys, they had a report and they had a graph showing 37%-ish of all new drugs globally are by Western companies are licensed from China, which is a huge chunk. And by 2026 and 2027, it could even be 45%, 50%.
Right.
This is all drugs.
That's a good way to kind of like force the American companies to actually start, or American industry to start relaxing the rules.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, what they are doing differently is they're just moving faster.
It's move faster. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like so Americans have AI, like we have AI, we have compute, but we are stifled by regulations.
Yeah.
Which are there for a reason, right?
Yeah.
But if things are moving this fast, there's definitely other ways. And this is called, the term is like a FHI, first in human initial trials or something like that. But Australia has like a faster one. Malaysia actually does too. So Malaysia came up in my research where Malaysia has really good medical tourism.
Yes.
And it's super cheap, world-class healthcare at a fraction of Western prices.
Right.
And I'm sure healthcare like pisses off everyone.
Right.
Right. And so you're like, why does this have to be so expensive every year, right? For what I'm getting. And so you can actually, in theory, and I'm sure like the network state team has thought about this, but like in theory you can actually have because it has a medical tourism here, have these labs come here as well, just like Prospera, and copy or take inspiration from that model here, because the Asian market is quite big and healthcare is already cheap.
Yeah.
So you're building on a base that's like already built, just like Forest City, right?
Exactly.
It's already built.
Yeah.
And so you can literally just say, any American company, you raised $3 million as a venture-backed biotech, come here. We have all the operations figured out. Here's the contractors, and it's a win-win for them. It's a win for the Americans, VC-backed biotech, right? But doing it in America is harder. It's kind of like the analogy we talked about earlier with like the small modular reactors.
Yes.
It's like even the companies that were blessed by the best VCs and Sam Altman and everyone, they still have to go through all the regulations, to get to market. Whereas in China, it's like just copy and paste, the same one, right?
Yeah.
And then literally hundreds of them are being made. Because it's the same thing. Actually, the technology is quite safe. The weirdest fact when I was in nuclear is like, there's more radiation outside of a coal power plant than outside of a nuclear power plant. Like, there are studies on this, and that's like the funniest fact to me. It's like, that's the irony.
How fast is China moving on nuclear? Because
They're well ahead of everyone.
Okay.
Like in terms of capacity, like new capacity being built.
Right.
The U.S. of course still has capacity, but it's like teetering. It's like basically been flatlined.
Right.
Like they're not building new ones.
Right.
Even because they invented it, right, and they have the NRC and all that. It's still a bunch of regulatory, political issues that are just so bigger. Like, where do you even start? So.
Right, Raj.
Yeah,
let's
this is
end over
fun.
here.
Yeah.
This was amazing, and I think you need to come on again.
I'm down. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I just yapped a lot, so
That's it.
I'm down to yap again.
Yeah.